Hello, boys.
Howdy.
Everybody here. Haunt,
We're so
Mycodius. Good afternoon, fellas.
Haunt's always here. We love Haunt. Friend of the show, man.
Yes, friend of the show, Haunt. Haunt's Accord, killing it always. I'm Oh, well, you know what I didn't do? I need to fix the. Let's see if the bird glow works this time. Come along, bird glow.
Maybe. Testing.
Ah, there it is. The bird glows. Here we go. Koyo says enemy of the show. Oh my god.
Enemy of the show. Enemy of the show. Oh no.
Part of the ship, part of the crew. Yes. Ah, Defiant Reclamer. Subscribed. Hello. Welcome. Today, we're back with Ortho Chat.
Back with Ortho Chat, and today is the birthday of the church. It's Pentecost. Happy birthday, church.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, happy birthday, church. Yes.
Happy birthday, church.
All right, I did it. See, you know what? I was gonna go with just like the angriest possible response to Pride, but now so here's the thing. I was informed by my wife that today is supposed to be Children's Day, actually. And so
Children's Day.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently in Romania it's Children's Day. And so
very cool they do it on the same day.
Right. Well, but then it occurred to me that it's Children's Day and perhaps the Pride people picked it on purpose because it's Children's Day.
I didn't even think
today
was the beginning. I didn't even know today was the beginning of Pride Month. I completely forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Children's Day, we've got Pentecost, and then men's mental health month are all
Men's
June.
Mental Health Month.
Yep.
Yeah. All that are far less important than sacrifice your souls to Baal for carnal pleasure.
Right.
Month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've got a weird echo, and it's going to make me crazy, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. But that's not it. Why? What? Oh, perhaps it's this, isn't it? Yes, that was it. Was it? Yes, it was it. Okay, good. Thank God.
We're back.
We are back. We're so back. It's rare that anyone has ever been this back.
Nobody's ever been this back. Not even close.
Not anywhere. Amazing. All right. Let me get loaded into your game, and I've still been, man, I have been let it make me crazy for the content. Yeah. I listen. My audio is louder all of a sudden. Yes, I have a fader, and so I can turn it. I can make it louder or quieter.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And so I can also, like, I realized I can move. I've got more of this set up properly now. More of it.
Yeah, we have new technology entering the podcast.
Yes. Well, see, I've had all this hardware, and I just haven't actually spent the time to set things up properly, because, as it turns out, like all of the tech stuff, it just doesn't. It doesn't stay fixed when I fix it a lot of times now.
Of course, God forbid it ever does.
Yeah, so
the nature of technology.
Yeah, I'll get motivated to, like, okay, I'm gonna put this where it belongs, haha, and I start to do that and realize that something has exploded, and then I go, I gotta fix that first, and so then I go to fix the thing that blew up, and that uses my fix it motivation.
Exactly.
Okay. And we're joining game. Here we go. So now that I'm joining game, we'll kick this on. We got a glowing bird. We got me being able to talk. I moved my chat around. Chat is on screen where it belongs. Although
Hello, chat.
Although, why is the multi-chat not? Oh no, multi-chat is over the avatars. Okay, fine, that's fine. All right, good, perfect, great, grand. Here we go.
So back.
We are all the way back. And I've also neglected. I keep telling myself I'm gonna play off stream with my wife, and level up a little bit and get her back on her standard bearer grind, and so that we can just send this shit to the moon. And then I absolutely forgot to do that.
So back.
We will be so back. I played way too much Star Citizen all week. So okay, so here's it. I'm gonna fucking go sideways. Otherwise, all right. Tell me about Pentecost. Explain to me. I am a man who's heard the word and knows nothing about it. What is Pentecost?
Okay, so Pentecost. So functionally, what happens is the reason why we call this the birthday of the church is because this is the coming down of the Holy Spirit visually at this time as little flames upon the heads of the apostles in the upper room, where they were given the right to the holy priesthood this is the first initiation of chrismation, if you've ever heard of such a word or a sacrament existing.
I have not. I do not know what chrismation is.
So chrismation in the church is there's I mean, in the Orthodox Church we would maybe say that there's more than strictly seven sacraments, but I mean ordination, marriage, communion, confession, and tonsure being another one, and then there is and then the most important of the two in the Christian life, we would say, but the last ones mentioned would be baptism and chrismation. So when you're baptized, a good way to think about what baptism is when one is united to the sacrifice of Christ on the cross and illuminated by the Holy Spirit to be joined with Christ in the spiritual life. And when we say, well, you know, the Lord died on the cross for everybody, that's true, but one needs to be joined to the sacrifice. This is the shedding of the old man and the prerequisite of salvation for the human being. But chrismation is something a little bit different. It's described as the seal of the Holy Spirit upon a person. Immediate. During the baptism service, what happens is I actually just baptized. I'm actually a godfather now. I baptized my.
Well, congratulations.
Baby. I'm officially a godfather. Cue the music from the Italian mob show. But but what happens during that service is that the priest will blow on the baby and on in the sign of the cross 3 times, and then he'll cover him in oil. And what this is that it's the seal of the Holy Spirit. When we say the seal, a lot of people misconstrue it to say it's like, well, you know, it binds the Spirit up inside you. Well, it's not like the agioperevma. The Holy Spirit is going to leave you once it enters you. If you don't lock it up, it can leave if you push God away. That's what happens sometimes. But
okay.
But with the seal of the Holy Spirit, you have to think of it like a stamp seal, like you're sealing like a piece of bread or a letter or something like that. It is an initiative marker and a blessing upon the person that of the priesthood itself. So when Christ told the apostles, go forth and cast out demons, raise the dead, and heal the sick, that was Jesus Christ acting as a present and immediate bishop to the apostles when they were in his presence. That gave them that authority. But he also says, after he resurrected and after Christ resurrected and he was with the apostles in Jerusalem, he tells them before he ascends into heaven, remain in the city of Jerusalem until you receive power from on high. And he told them, wait there for about 6 days. And when they remained there, what happened was, when they were celebrating the Feast of Pentecost, they go into the upper room, and I think I actually remember exactly where that is in Scripture. I think it's at... Okay, yeah, so it says, when the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And this is the upper room in Jerusalem, because if you remember anything from the biblical Jewish times, they used to gather in these upper rooms, which are kind of like mini dining halls. They would usually rent a place out, and it would kind of be like their it would kind of be their place where they had these celebrations. And
Hmm.
suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. And then there appeared on them divided tongues as fire, and one sat upon and one sat upon each of them, and they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues, and the Spirit gave them utterance. So and that's basically just the beginning of the second chapter of Acts. But what that's an initiate of is Christ being in heaven, but also giving them the same authority and the same power from, because all of the power, the spiritual healers in Christianity derive their power from Christ. This is Christ granting them the power to do such things
Okay.
because because they were the ones that went out and evangelized to the rest of the world. So after this point, they would all go to India, to Rome, to Greece, to the Gaelic lands, and so on and so forth, preach the gospel. But this was the initiating power of Christ upon them to do that in an authoritative sense, and in having the same power that Christ had when he was present on earth. And this is replicated through the church by chrismation, because there's like this little debate about, a priest is a priest, whether it's an Anglican or a Catholic. But the frank message to all of it is that an Orthodox Christian woman has more authority to chrismate or to baptize or to ordain one in any comparative sense than a priest, because he's a priest of some other denomination or wherever the case may be. So it's basically just the initiate. It's basically the endowing of the Holy Spirit as a crux of power, if you will, within a person, so that they can use the power of God for the sake of the Lord's will. That's kind of the whole thing behind it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Like yesterday we had a huge church service, and today there was
Yeah.
a huge one that we did. And actually yesterday's the only Sunday of the year that we kneel in church, because we're never supposed to kneel in church on a Sunday. So and we do it 3 times, so the Spirit comes down upon us, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's cool beans.
Well, good. Okay. Now I know. Now I understand. At least at the beginning. I understand the beginning.
It's God God granting his powers upon the apostle in a permanent way, to where they ordain bishops, and then everybody gets that upon their reception into the church. That's the long and short of it, so to speak.
Okay.
But
Very good.
But yeah, so that's there, and then I don't know. I mean, besides that, it's summer. It is as summer as summer's. Actually, no, it's going to be even more summer coming soon.
It will be more
more
summer. Yeah, I have hit the get the fan under the desk time. Even with central air, the fan is under the desk again. So that's how that goes for the next 4 or 5 months.
Oh, surely. Oh, I'm so happy I'm back in the weather, though. It's so nice to be warm again.
Okay.
My frail bones don't handle the frigid tundras of America too well. If anybody from Southern Europe lived, because people in Greece, I'll give you a little thing about them. They always look at the Americans like, they're not really like us. We're tough, whatever. Listen, if you ever spent time in a Pennsylvania, Indiana, or like Michigan winter, oh dude, no, yeah, that's not a good time at all.
Right.
So I mean, but I don't know. It's that we talked about this last time, but I've just been punishing myself, dude. I've been super watching what I eat and just walking like a walking like a Bedouin through the desert. I'm feeling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's
well,
one of those
good.
things.
Now is of course the time. It's not going to get easier later. But like, man, oh man, I have not been outdoors or as physical as I'd like to be. I did make it back into the gym last week after having been slightly less fastidious about it than I should have been recently.
Gas, man.
But it's weird how much power you can lose in a short period of time. When like I'm pushing near 1,000 pounds on the leg press, and then if I take 2-3 weeks off, I have to go down. I have to cut it in half.
Oh man, that's what'll happen to you. If you do take Mike Menzer talked about this a little bit. He was like, there's no obvious decline in a muscle, even within like a 9-day period or something like that. So yeah, you gotta stay consistent, but it's not like you don't gotta.
So is 10 days the magic number where it starts dipping? Like, do we know that?
Yeah, I would say about a week. I would say you could safely ignore stuff for about a week. Past that, it starts to get a little dicey.
All right. See, God, man, the other day I had posted like, hey God, if this lotto ticket hits, it's going to be really funny. Just so you know. I'd also thrown one out there for the feds because I don't know if you're keeping up with the flesh simulator psycho.
I can't imagine where else it can go.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
right, exactly. But basically, one of the people involved looked a little bit like they might be a federal informant, like legit federal informant, and then we made fun of that publicly. And I said, well, if the feds don't want their informants to get completely exposed and rolled up for this, they might want to fucking tell them to chill out right now. And subscribe to the Patreon. And so, but no shit. Right after that, they shut the fuck up. They all shut the fuck up. And so it was like, okay, well... so after that, I had also posted like, well, hey, feds, it would be really funny if this lottery ticket hit, I need more hours in the day so badly because I know I should be doing, like 3 days on, 1 day off with the heavy lifting for maximum results. But I just don't have the time if I'm going to do anything else,
It's starting to happen to me. I am. You are substantially more energetic than me, but I am substantially younger by chronology, and I'm just like I'm at that point where I'm like, holy shit, where did the day go?
Yeah,
I was like, I'll take a little break at the beach, and
right,
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 45 minutes later, it's 6:30 in the evening. What the hell happened?
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, it waits for no one. All the discussion about entropy is fine until you actually, meet some.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's prudent because I'm starting to hit the climax of my quarter life crisis, and I'm like, man, I just don't know what to do with look, turning 27 in the next couple months, and I'm just like, I don't know. Should I feel this kind of pressure? Is it like, should I feel like I live in this crock pot?
Yes, you should feel that way. As someone who has had their turning 27 come and gone, yes, you absolutely should. Okay, so the number one thing that I try to get across to anyone younger than me is that whatever you think is in your way, it will never be easier later. So however difficult something may seem right now, I'm not saying don't prepare. I'm not saying don't make a plan. I'm not saying don't carefully execute that plan, but I am saying don't delay. So always, if the choice is to rest now or rest later, and you can select rest later.
Eat the frog now.
Yep, exactly. Eat that frog now. And that's now the mean thing about this is that it does seem that God will always ensure that the problems of today are sufficient, and I think that goes both ways.
The greatest lesson.
Yeah. So it's not like you will get to rest later. You won't actually get to rest later. It's just that you will have done more when it's all said and done. The resting later is a trick, but it's a trick that you should know that you're doing to yourself and do as often as possible, because it's just going to ache more in a year, and it's going to ache even more 2 years from now. So you just got to do it. You just got to go.
And that's fine. I think I'm gonna do a serious, sincere attempt to completely cut out nicotine. I think I have to. No more ciggies, no more Zins and stuff like that. Because
I wonder about Zen though.
Look, there's a couple things. It's like a lot of here's what I understand from the literature about nicotine optimization.
Okay.
Nicotine over the course of the past, I would say 80 years, has been kind of this roller coaster of endocrinological study, only within the premise of, at the very beginning, I think at the very beginning of its popularity, everybody said, now that package filter cigarettes are coming out, if something feels this good, damn it has to feel good for you. And I think everybody kind of bought into that propaganda. I think something similar is going to happen with this peptide thing.
Yeah, obviously. Like I've skipped all the peptide stuff so far, and there's some guys, being that we move in esoteric circles.
Sure.
There's a lot of guys who are like, "What the fuck do you mean you're not on these 23 peptides?" And it's like, brother, I have no idea what the fuck any of that is. And like, oh no, I'll tell you, and here's what it is, and here's how it works, and here's what it does. And it's like, okay, but do you know everything it does? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you definitely don't actually know everything that it does. So, you know the stuff that you like that it does, but man, I know the stuff that crack does that I like. That doesn't mean I have the whole list, So that's the problem.
It's supposed to be, supposedly, it is supposed to be these chains of amino acids that encourage specific growth pathways within the body, and that's fine. I mean, they do wildly different stuff. There's one that tans you from the inside out. There's one that more efficiently burns. That one's weird. People come out looking more. They come out looking about as orange as liberals want you to believe Trump is. It's like it's a super odd compound that I actually haven't been willing to touch any of them so far. There's something about needles that discourages me greatly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's one of those. So but the other part of it is, it's like, okay, but what is it? You're not exactly extracting these hormones directly from the human body. So I mean, like, what precisely are we talking about? And I had a doctor friend of mine come visit me from America to where I am. For the very first time, and it's a great guy, very smart. He just entered his residency for being an anesthesiologist, and a little bit of a dork, but you know what? I've been friends with him.
Well, you better be if you're an anesthesiologist,
Yeah, no shit. But it was one of those things where he was telling me, it's like, the kind of predictive model for what happens with these peptides is that those growth pathways do not discriminate against cancer cells. And
did they not know that off the top of their head? They didn't realize. Okay, this is one of these things that, like, I understand. I'm not certified in anything. If anybody asks what I do, I have to tell them, nah, man, I'm nobody. Don't worry about it, But the fact of the matter is, if you know what cancer is, then if you know what cancer is, then you know that any growth is going to always encourage cancer. Cancer loves all this shit, okay? So if you have Even just like, hey, do you know when in your life you're going to get testicular cancer? If you're ever going to get testicular cancer, you're going to get it when you're 19, because that's when your balls are just cooking, right? So of course,
my dad had it when he was 19, 20.
Yeah, that's when it happens. Yeah. That's when it happens. Hey, if a woman is going to get breast cancer, you know when she's going to get it? Around a pregnancy, because her hormones went fucking berserk. And yeah, of course, so it blows me away that people don't just fundamentally understand what a thing is. Like, cancer is just normal cells that kept growing, and that's the only thing that's weird about them, So like, for example, all of the lab-grown meat that anybody's ever heard about.
Ever touch it? Oh,
no, of course not. It's tumors. No, you shouldn't. It's cancer. It's literally cancer. So like, it's tumor cells. It's tumor stem cells that they've just continued to culture outside of a body. That's all it is. So, which, yes, as a, like, I mean, look, if you had 20 billion abjectly poor human beings, and this is the only way you could possibly grow anything vaguely like meat for them, maybe. Okay, so like as a solution for an arcology, okay. But that's not the situation we're in. We still have open plains on the planet. So you can't. Yeah. But they're going for that. That's what they want to make it. So that's the kind of food that they're planning for, right? And it's banana. Oop, I'm down. Shit.
Oh shit! I'll grab you.
My bad. I ran out of real ammo. But like,
right. There's a Hellbrute.
There is.
He is not happy with
nope,
us.
He is not. Oh.
Shh. It's alright. We're Gucci.
Hell yeah! All right, I'm gonna try and hit that ammo crate and be of some use or purpose. All right. So, but yeah, it's literally just tumor cells. And I remember I had a guy who was in one of those labs try to argue with me on Twitter about this. No, it's not a tumor cell, you fucking idiot, blah, 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 blah. And then he went on and put the, here's the white paper on what we do at my lab and why it's very cool and all this. And it had a very... Oh, shit. It had a very fancy way to say, oh, it's cancer. And it was like, yeah, these words right here mean cancer. What are you doing? And it was another one where, like, in public, I had to take one of these alleged experts and just, correct them. Oh, shit. Escalating threat. Our enemies have become more enemy-like.
It's all right. I'm literally buying stuff to kind of offset the... the pain here. Come on. We got him. Okay, sweet. All right, worry. He's
got
gone.
his ass.
Got his ass. So, I mean, I think a lot of this, and there's a lot of people that understand the risk of this, and I think the risk-adverse nature of people being so attached to this is, again, kind of the concept we were talking about, a little bit in the last episode about the prostitute becoming the new
the priest class. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because now I would argue that most young people that are geared towards making socialization or understand. I mean, especially this is one thing that I think what the libs say actually may apply because they say a lot about, well, why aren't people having kids? Why aren't people getting married? Why are there no contact with family relationships? They say that is primarily economic. I wouldn't say so. I think there's far more deeper seated issues existing within the framework that points to why that's happening. But if we're talking about I think that, again, the prerequisite to a lot of what we're seeing now is encouragement of hedonism, obviously. That's like, I think anybody who understands what's been happening since the 70s recognizes what's happening on that end. But I would also say that people are now in the, this is where I think that model could apply about economics, varying social behavior. What happens is that in the age of entertainment media being segmented across individuals, not striving for that appears to have kind of re-resourced into like an ostracization complex where young people, not even, I mean, at under 40s, I think it's an under 40 thing where people are looking and saying, well, if you're not working on a personal brand and your looks and your socialization and having men be impressed with the way you look, and if every girl doesn't want to sleep with you immediately upon seeing you, this is one more I guess level of the tradition hierarchy getting kind of shaved off, because I mean, think about it. If you look into what people are getting into, I don't think anybody is worried about becoming a scholar anytime soon. We don't see that anymore with young people. We're not worried about, or some people, or the people that do may feel like this new inherent inferiority complex towards wanting something like that, because depending on what
everything is cringe. Yeah, it's all cringe. It's all gay. You know.
You're not girls maxing. You're not looks maxing.
You're not jester maxing either. Yeah.
You're not jester maxing. Yeah, you're cringe and you're scaring the boys. That's the and so like this will transition eventually into. I think if it indicates anything, and you want to be very cynical about it, I think everybody should be looking into suppliers of cosmetic surgery, or the firms that fund these hospitals. Because I mean, listen, when the chips are down, and a lot of these people can't peptide and bone smash and frankly get too lazy to work out their way out of this. You're going to be seeing Miami and Turkey filled to the brim with people that are trying to.
Oh my God!
Preserve their youth.
This is. I'm glad you brought up Turkey. My wife saw a photo of someone as I was scrolling past them early today on Twitter, and she just goes, "Oh my God, their hair," and I was like, "What? Who cares?" And she was like, "But he could go to Turkey." And I was like, babe, but if he goes to Turkey for his hair, it'll look like he went to Turkey for his hair. You can't, you just no, just don't.
Oh yeah, there's a couple. I mean, thank God, and I'm gonna spit on my. If you ever compliment somebody, little Greek tradition, you spit on them after, so you don't have to ask them. Yeah, sure. Your wife probably has that in her culture as well, but but I mean. I would never go, not even for the fact that, listen, there's tasteful ways to kind of get over something like that. Like I've seen dudes who are jacked that just go that pathway once they start losing their hair. It's like, you get to wear cool hats kind of shamelessly now.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. So, I have a particular relationship with hair. At one point, I had.
I do too. I want to hear yours first.
Okay, so long ago, the men in my family either start going bald at like 16, or never. They don't even go gray. Okay, and.
The only person to ever go bald in my family was my uncle, because he did steroids, but that was like everybody else. Both my grandfathers full heads of hair well into their 70s. Thank God.
So, I was like 12 years old, and I just had a really bad haircut, and I angrily in the mirror while futzing with it, I said, "All right, God, I think that's my last haircut. I'm not gonna do. You just let me know." When I'm supposed to stop having hair, and I'm thinking like 50-50. This is a 5-year commitment that I'm making here. I was like, God, you just let me know, and you'll just take it all when it's time anyway, right? And so it's now 3 decades ago that I said that, and I have not cut my hair, and I don't dare to now, because
you got the flow going. Hey, fades are out for young people. Everybody's saying literally go with the flow. People are not getting the buzz fade thing. Everybody's on the mullet train.
Right. Well, no, this is so much more than the than like a little bit of a mullet. It's just I accidentally. I had to. After I said that was it. You know, and at first it was like, well, I'm not gonna. And then now, like, there's been plenty of times where it's kind of come up like, okay, well, it would definitely, obviously be nice to be able to cut this back a little bit now. And after I actually learned the story of Samson, I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cut my hair, because the problem wasn't actually the hair cutting. It was the not following the fucking, you know, you were given a specific set of rules here and didn't follow them. And so the reason the power was lost was because you fucked around. And it's like, well, okay, I fucked around and made a deal I shouldn't have made. But I guess I'm keeping it now. So,
well, here's the interesting thing. Well, my relationship with hair, quickly, I always had at least hair going down to my shoulders my entire life. But
yeah,
there were times when I was younger on vacation where I would get so drunk when I was out, when I was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
I would go to my mother. I think I did this exactly three separate times. I went up to my mother and I said, "Ma, I'm hot. Cut my hair." And
right.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, "Ma, cut my hair." And I made her get the clippers, and she would go outside and she would buzz my hair bald. And I think I'd done that on 3 separate occasions, just gone bald in a drunk boredom. But interestingly enough, you know, with hair stuff, I think minoxidil and finasteride, people should stay away from it like it's crack.
Yeah, they should. Absolutely, they should stay away from it. It's really awful.
That will be the first casualty of the looks-maxing genocide that's 20 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically for the reason that it tanks your libido and your testosterone horrifically. And
yeah.
Because specifically as a DHT blocker, DHT is a byproduct of testosterone production. Mm-hmm. It occurs as a pathway after testosterone is produced in the body, but it is primarily a sex hormone. So
sure,
you can imagine what blocking that does to male libido and male vitality.
Right.
And the worst part is that the literature is mistaken when it comes to what's actually causing the hair loss, because it's not specifically the DHT, it's primarily prolactin that's doing it. Which, because and the prolactin production makes DHT secrete. Now, if you want to keep your hair and you feel like you have an estrogenic problem or you have any other hormone problem, you should be washing your hair every single day deep into your scalp, deep into your scalp, because it will sit on the surface for you to scrub it all out. So like dig into your hair when you're taking showers, and if you already have hair, you should be fine. But the problem is that you remember I don't know what the saying was, but back in the day, it was like, don't touch yourself or you'll go blind, or like,
yeah, of course,
grandma saying.
Yeah.
So that itself is true, because prolactin increase directly affects your cornea health, and doing that is what increases prolactin. So if you want a great way to make sure that you go bald, do that over and over and over again over how much time. And there's stuff in the literature about, oh well, you know, during normative intercourse, it's more than simply like, you know, touching yourself or whatever.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
I mean, but again, that's the smoking problem. People don't smoke, and people say that vaping's better for you, but when you can get your nicotine in restaurants when you're taking a shower, you know,
right. Although,
you know, what's
I will tell you, a shower cigarette fucking rules.
Oh yeah, no, I'm never going to quit popping a fellow inside of the shower. Yeah, no, I'm not quitting nicotine. I'm sitting there, dude. You should see me. I'm scrubbing my effing balls. I'm
dude.
Into fucking Tim Dillon. I'm having a great time.
Oh my god, it's been a decade since I've had a shower cigarette. I forgot how good a shower cigarette can be. Listen, a shower cigarette and a shower beer.
Ruin you.
Ruin you, buddy. I haven't had Zens. So, I've been very like, as much as I've seen anything that's supposed to be really good about like, oh, hey, here's all the upsides. Here's the real upsides about nicotine and how it can actually help you with a bunch of stuff. And you just got to get a good source and blah, blah, blah. I've stayed away from it because I don't trust these motherfuckers. And I don't want to actually be smoking again, especially since like my brand is gone. My brand, it doesn't exist anymore, even though it says that it does. It's not the same. So I don't want to. Oop. Hello. Hell yeah. I just don't want to do it. I appreciate that.
But so as far as nicotine is concerned, the right way to handle it is 6 milligrams a week, parsed out twice. That is the standard. So you go.
Okay.
So you go pick up a tin of Zins. It should last you something to the. If my math is correct, I'm terrible at math.
That's like years. You're talking about like.
Well, yeah,
because don't they come in like 75 milligram doses?
Oh no! They no. What I'm saying, they come in usually packs of 15. So if you pick up a pack of 15, lasts you what, twice a day? Yeah, you can get a good month and a half, 2 months out of it if you're doing it the right way. And the logic here is I was kind of talking about this a little bit before with the literature concerning nicotine, is that nicomantide receptors within the brain are much more relevant and important than once thought. And
okay.
Encouragement of those receptors is a good thing within reason. But as far as I mean, yeah, it could permanently increase focus. It could push back against the preconditions of Alzheimer's, dementia.
Okay. That's very interesting. That's very interesting all the way around.
Yeah. A lot of neurocognitive defects that just kind of come with the aging process. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens is that if you fuck around with it too much, you will create new nicomantide neurotransmitters within the brain. That is a bad thing. This completely disrupts the entire. This is, by the way, this is coming from a current 2-pack-a-day smoker. So
okay, yeah.
So this is the priest preaching to you from the whorehouse.
Right. No, I understand.
But anyway, what happens is that this will negatively affect libido, general vitality. It is not a bad idea to, if you're in that kind of position, counteract it with nitric oxide supplementation or daily aspirin, which actually I think the entire thing with aspirin literature is a complete psyop by the US government. I think everybody should be taking a dose a day, especially with food that everybody's been eating. But yeah, so it is good within reason, and overdoing it, which we're seeing people overdo it now more.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, like you heard me say, somebody, like I think the Swedish Zens do come in 75 milligram doses. That's not, I'm not fucking. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll see those kind of float around Europe a little bit. And I think I tried 42 max. I thought I died a couple times within the same pouch, and I was like,
oh my god, shit. Dude.
Now the other negative things about overdose of nicotine is that it keeps you in an elevated cortisol spike.
Yep.
So if you decide you want to ever get rid of your belly pudge or your love handle, say goodbye to that idea, because that is where all the stress for I think 80% of the population concentrates inside of there.
Yeah.
Because some people, I think I told you about that one thing about the difference between top heavy people and bottom heavy people as far as it goes cardiac health, but
no, I don't recall that. Hit me again.
Oh yeah. Fun fact. So when it comes to people who naturally, because a lot of people say, well, you know, weight naturally goes to the hips first, or the stomach first. It's like the first place where, oh shit, I gotta buy something now. Wow.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay. Oh shit. Let me go get marine. Here. Let me grab this. Okay. Sweet.
All right. Dead zoanthrope at least.
Yeah, perfect. But anyway, so the idea here is that if you are built like who's a bottom heavy guy, bottom heavy famous guy, somebody with a muffin top, somebody with like a big perpetual muffin top, but the chest isn't too bad. People in that situation will have a harder time developing chronic and terminal heart conditions because
Okay.
all of their subcutaneous fat, I don't remember if subcutaneous or visceral is the one that surrounds your organs, but all of your subcutaneous fat will be surrounding your digestive organs instead of your lungs and your heart and all of your primary cardiac organs. If you are somebody that's built like Elon Musk, who has unfortunately one of the worst builds that
Yeah, no
survives a
shit.
happy life.
You know what? I wonder about that on that photo, if that was edited as fuck, because it seems like, you know what I was thinking it was, just because it was such an unnatural looking like arm to torso ratio. I was thinking that might have been like not a fat suit, but like a fake, like a bulletproof flesh suit kind of a thing.
That'd be really funny if it was.
Because like the proportions didn't make any sense. That was not the right shape for a rib cage compared to the arms that he's got, you know? And like every other place that I've ever seen him, he didn't look like that. Now, I understand you dunk a motherfucker in the water, you lose whatever makeup magic you can put on someone. But it also is kind of like one of those things where, hey man, you're out in the ocean, and if there's a dude with a rifle within a mile from here, he could hit you, and you're Elon Musk. So like, I had thought about...
that's in the realm of possibilities, but, you know... you won't naturally see a lot of people that look like that, because it is only about 20% of the male... It's actually a lower concentration for males. 20% of the male population will carry their primary weight in their chest area.
Okay.
That's where it moves as men get older, naturally.
Okay.
But what happens is that if that's where your fat concentration is, that means that all the subcutaneous fat, because if you're fat on the outside, you're also fat on the inside, not on an emotional level.
Yeah.
Maybe on an emotional level, but the idea is like what'll happen is that the fat will also surround your organs. So depending on your genetic predisposition, the fat may concentrate around different organs. So if you're built like Jeremy Clarkson, perfect example, because he kind of has like a normal top and then he has like that horrific gut going on. He's my favorite, but he does. Then you're in better shape for heart health going into later in life. But yeah, so if nicotine specifically though, that will nicotine inhibits, what is it? It inhibits protein bioavailability by 25%.
Okay.
So if you're trying to build muscle, which muscle building within itself will actually burn fat for you. So if somebody tells you that you can't get buff on a aggressive cut, that's a lie. What's myopia? Range damage, range greater than 10 meters. Wait, at greater than 10 meters reduced by 7? Hell no. Wait, I'm gonna change that. Warp source fine. Okay, we can deal with that. So anyway, yeah, if it's terrible for you in large quantities if you're trying to get in shape. It's terrible. I mean, obviously it's terrible for cardiac health because it acts as a consistent stimulant. It'll make your heart pump faster. Like the reason I said that if you want to counteract the effects of it, start taking nitric oxide supplementation or aspirin, is because it'll thin your blood out to where your heart isn't working so hard to move everything around your body.
Sure.
And it also negatively affects bioefficiency of blood oxygen transport, which is kind of just horrific for everything. So one of the reasons I'm trying to quit, I've been doing a lot more research into literature, but I've been smoking since I was maybe 15, 16, something like that. You know, the natural Greek inheritance, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's you know, what I find interesting is that everything we're talking about, I think independent research labs are going to have a field day in terms of the secondary effect of overuse of nicotine, like these cosmetic compounds, stuff like that. That's all gonna come to kind of a point.
Oh,
and
of course.
I'm really shocked what kind of aliens we see once Gen Z starts entering into their 40s and 50s.
Absolutely.
If they make it that long.
A lot of them won't. A lot of them just won't.
Yeah.
My chat has informed me. I don't know if have you kept up at all with this business in the UK with the Sikh guy?
I know actually they just they're looking to completely ban smoking by 2030, if that's what it's talking about.
No, this is all completely off topic, I'm afraid. So, no, if you're not familiar with the story at all, it's a long story to I wonder how it's
no, the kid that drowned in the pool of his own blood after getting handcuffed by that.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Apparently, the body cam footage is out. I have not seen it, and I hate to interrupt you, but I feel like I should say to everybody immediately, I will subject myself to that later. Some of the guys are saying, I'm not going to watch it because I'm mad enough already, and maybe we are. Maybe we are mad enough already, but so far, everyone else in the situation is still breathing, and that's a sin. It is a sin that that everyone else involved is still breathing. I think I can't think of any way. I haven't even seen the video yet. I understand what it's going to look like. I'm still going to do this to myself because while I've got enough evil rattling around in my head, and I probably don't need any more. I think this one is required viewing for me, at least. I will not be allowing my wife to watch it. But let's talk more about nicotine. Fuck.
It's really funny. I had a conversation with my spiritual father about the state of the British man and the Englishman and like what that anthropology looks like, because I find a couple major cultural shifts really interesting. I think the textbooks on America in the first 30 years of the 21st century is going to be the read of all time, but
sure.
But specifically, I'm very interested in the Turks. I hate them. I hate them more than I could ever describe to you. But it's like but they're specifically interesting to me and how their culture has shifted, like in a sincere way. And we could talk about that sometime. But with the British, I asked my spiritual father. I was like, because he's something of an armchair historian. He's somebody that naturally understands the human condition. For as smart as he is on a textbook, I've rarely seen somebody that is that and understands the human condition as intimately as he does. And he, I asked him, I was like, what? And forgive me for the potty language of the church guy around here, but it's like, what turns so many of them into cucks? And his answer to it, which I think is a conclusion that I also came to, is one that you'll see with a lot of cultures. I mean, you could even give this to the Indians, or you could give like the Dot Indians. You can give this to
sure.
You could give this to not the Chinese have kind of been able to offset this a little bit. But anyway, it's the idea that, this fantastical, mythical empire of unfathomable power relative to the time turned into a people that almost universally despises their own culture and fell into step with the most horrific elements of modernity, being that the best of them left. If you think the best of them kind of got out, which was
of course
you had the great explorers who, once they figured this is, you got to think about it, this is the first culture that existed between the intersection of global might and ability to do what they want, as well as the technology prevailing for international travel, for efficient international travel. So, the
Sure.
best, I think what happened was that over the course of 300 or 400 years, whatever the case may be, the Italio, the Greeks were having plenty of their own problems with the Turks. I was there, trust me. But the Italio Frankish German British kind of cultural monolith that held the world captive for a couple hundred years.
Right.
The men that paradigm produced looked at so many places in the world as these uncharted territories where they could remake themselves and be the initiators of their own destiny, where they kind of looked behind them and said, what do I need that shit for?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course. It's also the wooden shoes on the way up the stairs, silk shoes on the way down that all civilizations seem to run into. Good times create soft men, and of course they do, right? Like I definitely.
That's everywhere. That's
everywhere.
Everybody
That's
probably
everywhere.
now.
And who had it better than England when it comes down to it? The British Empire. The sun never set on the British Empire. That's crazy.
Oh, I understand exactly what you're so. Yeah, I would say that's exactly true because if we're talking about the comforts of modernity and like the cultural shifts and the comforts that allow people to kind of shy away from tradition and responsibility, I think they were the first ones to smoke that pipe.
Well, I mean, everyone does. Whatever cycle. However good it gets is going to dictate how soft your men become. And it makes sense. You have more to lose. The more you have to lose, the harder it is to risk it all. And of course, that just makes sense. Even me right now, I am less prone to action today to do things that would be risky or a little bit crazy to do than I would have been 20 years ago, easily, and it's just because I've got my life a little bit together now. And so, oh my God, there's so much that can go wrong, that it would be a damn shame if I destroyed. But that scales. That goes from me to, a millionaire somewhere to whole societies of people.
Yeah.
And the better you have it, and if you don't take the risks, then you lose everything. Is the problem, and it's really hard to keep that in mind. And that's what they're doing right now, is losing everything. They have lost everything. I mean, it's so easy to tell. The UK, whatever rises up out of this, is not going to be the UK.
No.
Legitimately, I would not be surprised if someone actually kills the king and takes the crown. Like in a serious, 500 years ago type of way, to be like, no, this is where you have failed it, and it belongs to someone else now.
I could imagine that. That the crown doesn't exist much long after what is he? Is this are we on Charles? After
Charles, yes.
Away? Yeah, it's going to fall into like this proletariat chain of ministries and directorates in a very kind of communist style way that will last for maybe a couple years, and then people will just fall back into tribalism as the country remakes itself.
Right. Well, I mean, there is the chance for Arthur to return, as it were. There is a possibility that there can be a man who stands up and actually takes the role. And I've got it in my head that I'm not comfortable with this idea. But I noticed that the concept of divinity being necessary for leadership, like divine ordination, sort of, where as a younger man, it seemed so ridiculous to me, the idea that, like, well, God said I'm in charge, so I'm in charge. But I think I was looking at it backwards. I think that it's just that, no, if God didn't say so, there's just no way you could be in charge. Like, if you've ever tried to be in a leadership position, even, being in charge of a team of 10 men or 100 men, and then trying to do that against the will of God seems like an insane impossibility. It's herding cats, even with, like, competent men who want to be doing what they're doing, that you're leading in anything, just business, whatever. It's so fucking hard if what you're saying wasn't actually, like, perfectly right, And so divine favor may be exactly necessary.
Well, in so many words, eventually everybody comes to the conclusion that all power is lended.
Right.
Who's the landlord? That's the whole thing. You know what I mean? And what comes? But I mean, what comes? I mean, we even have this theory within the Greek ethnosphere, so to speak, or our culture, where we believe that Byzantium, that Rome was taken from the. I mean, because look, there's a big argument to be had about this, and I'm obviously biased because of my ethnos, but I don't think anybody was more Rome than the Greeks were Rome, because we were Rome for longer and Rome to a greater effect than the Italians or the Franks ever could have dreamed to be. We were Rome for 1,000 years. We were the Roman Empire for 1,000 years.
Right.
And the idea is that it was taken from us by God through means of, well, I mean, you could even say through means of the Turks, but I mean, if the Turks had a perfectly fair opportunity, they wouldn't have been able to do it. A lot of people blame Emperor Justinian for the results of this, how we were trying to take back the old Roman lands in the West as the result of our conquest by the Ottomans, but I don't necessarily blame him for that, because it was a necessity with the walls kind of closing in. Anyway, the idea is that as we don't actually have that many saint emperors in the Orthodox Church from the Roman Empire. It's less than most of them, and the reason for this is, like, yeah, we have a couple. Like, we have my favorite saint, not even just Saint Emperor. If you were to ask me who my favorite saint in the Orthodox Church is, it's Nikephoros Phokas, the Roman Emperor. He was he has the coolest name ever. He was they used to call him the White Death of the Saracens.
Oh, okay.
Because he was Greek. He wasn't Eladian or anything like that. He was as ancient Greek as anybody who traces their ancestry back is real Greek, but he had, like, this pale visage to him. He was the one that went into Crete and into Cyprus and slaughtered millions of Muslims that moved their way in. And he cleansed Greece of them like a plague. He was, and we commemorate him in the church, but his feast day isn't necessarily like pronounced, because he had this tendency of he was very much a Darth Revan kind of figure. He fought against the hierarchy of the church on theological matters plenty of times, and he was and he was against those dissenting voices that discouraged him from going to war.
Well, sure.
He was the coolest. He was the coolest. Every single icon that we have of him, he's holding a scimitar. I love him, but yeah, I mean, there's him, and I think I told you the story about Belisarius and Justinian one time, but yeah, like, one of the most prevalent dynasties within the Byzantine Empire was the Palaiologos dynasty, which is one that I think me and a couple of my friends are directly related to. I know we were part of, like, the extant nobility around it, but that would have to, like, entail such a thing. the idea with the Paleologis though is that they were so full of their own scandals and
Oh, of course.
oh
What
oh,
the
yeah,
fuck
well,
is this?
that's a Mulaf beast. You rarely get that in these.
Oh,
damn.
well,
Okay.
should I get a dreadnought?
If you can, yeah, grab them.
Yeah, okay, I'm going.
That would be the right move. Yeah, those are not fun to deal with. So anyway, but the Paleologos dynasty, we believe that from the political corruption and the straying away from orthodoxy by the Greek Roman Empire, it was through this that God saw our reverence and took it from us. And we even have our own little.
Oh, he came and smoked me on my way to get the goddamn dreadnought. I am down at the console.
I really gotta save your ass.
It would appear. I did pay for the dreadnought though, so you might want to hit the dreadnought for. No, I'm up.
If I can.
Interact.
Oh Lord.
Dreddy, let's go, boys.
Oh, this is so much trouble
Oh.
happening all at once. I think this is the most entertaining thing to happen on screen. On the podcast.
Oh.
Oh,
All right, well, the dreadnought should be out. It says we got the buy-in, so here we go.
Oh, he's out. I'm waiting for him to kind of come in, kick ass, and take names areas. Save me, dear lumbering giant, please. Lord. Oh shit. Okay,
No, Golden Boy raised me just long enough to get that done.
Wow, that was.
Ooh.
This is going to. Okay, all right. Wait, I'm safe for about 5 seconds here. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna continue my Roman Empire story in 1 second.
Yes. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Okay, wait. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta lead the beast into the Dreddy. That would probably not be a bad idea. Come on,
Yeah,
boy.
here we go,
Come on,
here we go.
Come on, you see him? Go get that bone. You got it, brother. All right. The Mulith beast should see big guy here in a second.
Oh shit! Man, that is no joke.
Yeah, no, this is you fight this once in the campaign, and it's not a blast.
Right. All right, so here I'm just hanging out near. Give me that.
I will definitely targeted him. All right, well, I think
Woo!
this
Here
is
we go.
only-
Now he's here.
There we go. All right, there we go. Oh wow, it's cleaning him. That's great. Oh, thank God too. Here, I'm gonna put the aspects on it so it goes by a little faster.
Yeah, that's what's
Oh,
up.
you did it. Oh,
That's
I'll take
what's up.
I'll take
Aye.
it. That scared me for a minute. Yes. Wow.
What a ridiculous fucking. Oh my goodness gracious, fucking mutilith. I didn't even know that was in the game.
Yeah, that thing, yeah, there's another move that it'll do if you're facing it in one of the operations where it'll drag you down to hell with purple tentacles, which is great. So yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is that the entirety of the Byzantine Empire at a point converted completely to Catholicism away from Orthodoxy, and at the Union of Florence. This is whenever you hear me refer to the Unia or the false union, this is what we're talking about. And thankfully, it produced some of the most interesting literature of the Dark Ages. It was people like Saint Mark of Ephesus, who is considered one of the pillars of the church that argued against the Catholic. Okay, wait, I gotta change this because if I don't pay for a different debuff, then we can't see the entire time. That's not gonna be fun.
Okay.
Let me see. Change. Let's strike out. We can live without gun strikes. Could we live without gun strikes?
Why did
Yeah.
you redeem it?
Yeah.
Why did you redeem it?
Extremists. Levels enemies are higher. Okay, yeah, we're in good
Bastards.
shape now. Yeah, the bastards. So anyway, yeah, we entered into this false union, and St. Mark of Ephesus defended orthodoxy to where we cut communion with Catholics off of the premise that reshaped off of the premise of us standing whole in our orthodoxy against the false dogmas, and there was people like Saint Gennadios Galarios, who actually one of his translations, his sermons are going to be one of the first people that are going to be one of the first pieces that we publish at our press company.
Okay.
Where he was originally on the side of the Catholics against St. Mark of Ephesus, and then did a complete 180 flip during like this miracle, and eventually argued against them and encouraged the Orthodox Church to depart from the Catholics. And this split was what is generally seen as our great apostasy.
Ooh.
And this is at least from a theological perspective what we would view led us under the yoke of the Turks for the better part of 500 years. And there's it even comes down to Greek philosophers in the 19th century looking at the Revolutionary War and saying this should not have happened yet. God, we haven't been freed by God. We've been freed by the Masons, and by a British crypto democracy that worships Satan.
So, when you're saying the Revolutionary War, I suppose this must be a revolution I'm unaware of.
The Greek Revolutionary War. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was one that my uncle, my great. It was actually no. This was actually no. That was part of the population exchange. I had an uncle that was sawn down the middle by Turks for hiding Christians in a church one time.
Ah. Yeah. That sounds like some shit a Turk will do.
Yeah, that was during the population exchange. And don't get me wrong, Turks do hate Christians. They are
of course they do.
They are the premier Muslim caliphate empire. That they rival the Ummads in how vicious they are with it. But they hate Greeks because they're Greeks more than they hate Greeks because they're Orthodox.
Okay.
That's just the way. And the thing is that the original like Ioannis Kapostratis, the first governor of the New Greece, rumors that he was a Mason. I don't want to say too much and get myself in trouble about bringing him up, but Metaxa, who is named after the most popular Ouzo brand in Greece, was the leader of the Greek Revolution, completely a Freemason. Was the initiator that Greece should no longer be bound by the ideals of Christianity. It didn't stick, thank God. A lot of his purviews and how we're supposed to reform as a nation, but he thought that we needed to go back to a Hellenistic past, one that was presupposed on the ideals of the philosophers more than the apostles.
Okay.
And this scared the shit out of a lot of Greek historians, anthropologists, and just anybody that was even remotely respectful to the church, which all Greeks are at a certain level. Because they said this isn't representative of the Byzantine Empire that preceded us. This isn't representative of our ideals as Greeks to abandon the tradition like this. And I gotta be honest. I mean, the situation that my nation is in now with how our culture has shifted, that we're basically under the boot of empires that don't exist anymore, which is really a tragic and pathetic position to be in. And the only thing that's kept us along this long is us begging God to have mercy on us for as long as we have. And I mean, we even have our own Return of Arthur thing, like you mentioned. The legend of the Marble Emperor, if I've ever told you about that thing.
No, I did not know that, although it makes sense. Every culture probably does, just because the archetype of the young man who doesn't look like he should be king, picking up the sword that was apparently lost forever, and then becoming the king of his nation, that's all true every time. You know, like that
Well,
is
ours involves somebody that already came and went, because Greeks can never ever, God forbid, decouple from nepotism, right? But,
okay.
but anyway, so the Marble Emperor story is one of so the Palaiologos dynasty was supposedly the last rightful rulers of Greece, with Constantine Palaiologos being the defender of the city against the Turks. Now, we don't commemorate him as a saint. We see no reason to. We don't believe him to be some kind of holy figure in any general capacity, except for his love for the country. But what we in the church consider the last true emperor of the Romans was Yanis Duca. John Ducas was a well-seasoned theologian. He was a masterful statesman. People treated him as if he was the inheritance of Justinian and Constantine himself. He was that good. He was the closest one, as far as emperors are concerned, after the Great Schism, that he got pretty much the closest you could to reuniting the Catholic and Orthodox churches without compromising the theology of the Orthodox. And we love him for that. But the idea is that we see him as the rightful inheritor of Rome, to where as the city was being besieged by Turks, the Archangel Michael encased him inside of a marble statue that I want to say that it sits in the lower levels of the Blackerneye Palace. But encased in a marble statue that he'll be reawoken by God when the time is right for the Greeks
Sure.
to retake Constantinople from the Turks.
Okay.
And
That also works. That also works. Like that is the same archetype. Like the Greek statue posters online. This makes sense with this legend also, because what they represent, not the Indian ones who are faking it, but the actual the whole respect of the just the classic era is such that it exists. And I'm not a scholar of this. I don't know the actual edges of when these things happen, but it's just when that is how people would see the Emperor returned there. Yeah. It would be the statue come to life. And yes, your history is sealed inside that statuary, and the whole world knows it. The whole world recognizes it. Nobody would mistake it for anything else, certainly. But the idea of just a gallery of marble statues, that's Greek. It's the whole way.
it is.
Those of us who know nothing about y'all know that,
I'll say this much. Even when I was younger, believe it or not, when I was a young man, there were a couple things true about me. I used to dress like a black guy.
Sure.
And I had this kind of Han Solo-ish tilt towards the fantastical, where
Okay.
I looked at so many things in kind of like this rationalist perspective as I got older, kind of making my way to the end of my teenage years, and I don't know what flipped in me. I think I got to the point where I saw so many strange things all at once and then parsed out over time, where things are going to be and always have been as strange as the past has dictated.
Right.
So for something like that, or for something miraculous and insane to happen to America, to the Western world, whatever the case may be, I'm not beyond the possibility of such a thing at all. And there's an interesting a little bit of backstory on this part. We do have some prophecies, some very recent prophecies from Saint Paisios, who it's weird. Saint Paisios as a figure, he's kind of become a cult icon in the United States because this was a saint that that served in the Second World War. He existed as a monk on Mount Athos, the holy mountain that I think I told you about a little bit. And there's a great 60 minutes documentary that I'll text you about it.
Okay.
The mountain in Greece where all those monasteries are, and there's hundreds of monks and monasteries that belong to the Serbians and to the Russians, but mostly the Greeks. And he was a part of the cohort of saints from the last century that existed there, where he was special not only in his obvious gentleness and his sense for the spiritual life, but also in his well-formed understanding of the human soul and of theology, and he received some visions from God about what the state of Greece and what the state of the Mediterranean and what the state of America is going to be going down the line. Now, in saying this, I think I've given you the disclaimer about how we should at least treat prophecy when we hear it.
Sure. Yeah.
If being that what the will of God is like an incredibly wide and incredibly deep river that you could throw your stones in, or you could, dig out in the sand and make a new path of it, which you realistically could, but the idea is to swim with it. But with prophecy, there's the conditional prophecies, like that Marble Emperor story. That is something we would consider a conditional prophecy, that through the very specifically the quantity of global repentance, and that only will God kind of throw us these perks before the end. And then there's prophecies like the end itself. There's prophecies like Revelation where these things must come to pass. Christ talked about how there were things that had to come to pass.
Oop, shit, I'm down. Dead.
Oh my god, we got a Carnifex and a Neurothrope. Okay, let me see.
50 seconds.
What I can do to mitigate that. Is that the Carnifex behind me? Thank god it's not. Okay. I need to make something work here. We need to buy that. And I need to hurry up and buy that. Fuck. Okay, well I bought some turrets at least.
The Dreadnought is prepared, by the way. I paid for the Dreadnought whenever we need it next. That's already in there.
Okay, wait. He'll revive me, and then I'm gonna... Oh no, wait. I'm stuck in the text chat. Damn it. Okay, he's activated. Alright, we're saved.
10 seconds till I'm back. 10 seconds.
We're saved, okay.
And I'm up. Here we go. Carnifex and Neurothrope.
Oh, not having gun strikes is so annoying.
Who up getting their Carnoustie 8?
Their Carnoustie 8 is insane. I'm tweeting that later on the Matic.
Hell yeah.
I'm tweeting it on the Matic. Oh, good lord.
Shit. Oh, he is mad at me. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, he's real pissed. Hang on, let me...
Oh, and I'm down. Shit. All right. I slapped like 12 shots into him, and then he just ignored everything else and just kept doing those charge rushes at me.
Oh, enemies have become more dangerous. What fun. That's great. Golden Boy's got his own problems he's dealing with, it looks like. Where's the Dreadnought?
Lord.
Is the Dreadnought glitched? If the Dreadnought is glitched...
Oh, no. No, it's shooting.
No, he's not glitched. No, he's shooting. We're good.
Perhaps he was just reloading. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. He can have a little break. I'm up. Here we go. Moving. We're schmoving, boys. No! Oh, shit. And he's back to just charge rushing me. Oh, my God. He's so mad at me. Ow!
So pissed. Okay. This Neurothrope is not giving us an easy time, is he?
That's all right. I've almost got the Carnifex. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Eat shit. Carnifex.
Eat shit is so funny. Alright, you're alright, so he's He's getting taken care of.
Yes.
I think Big Boy's got his own ideas about what's gonna happen next year. Awesome. Right.
All right, now that we're
I'm
not
shooting this thing with a pistol.
Yes.
So,
I am as well.
So anyway, when
Whoop. Oh.
How? Oh shit! Hang on. Mortal wound healed. Awesome. Okay, and he's pushing me back with his
Push.
Yeah. So, what the hell? Wait, what the hell? Oh yeah. So conditional prophecy and unconditional
Yes.
prophecy.
Yes.
But with the prophecy of St. Baisios, I mean, he talks about a lot of things about how the Russians are going to degrade their relationship with the Turks, which they inevitably have. You have to keep in mind that these prophecies were around. Oh God, what was it? 50 years ago? 50, 60 years ago. That the Turks will eventually have their relationship degraded with the Russians. That the Americans are going to support the Israelis. That the Greeks will go to war with the Turks and go through this starvation. Oh, that wasn't even the boss round. Oh my God.
Oh
That
dear.
ain't good. We're only on 19. Okay, I gotta buy stuff. Wait. Oh shit. Oh shit. Let me here. Let's do that, and let's pick up one of those just to be safe. Okay.
Oop.
So yeah, like that the Greeks will go to war with the Turks, and we won't necessarily lose a lot of people, but we'll go through an extended starvation period. And there's stuff like this that have been manifesting pretty well over the past 20 years. Now, do I think that it's necessary that things happen the way that he says they happen? No, it's not necessarily biblical. And as a matter of fact, when he was saying these prophecies, if there is one book I had to suggest for you, it's a book called Wounded by Love, by Saint Porphyrios of Kasovdakia, and it's basically an autobiography of his, where he is probably the best representative of what the Orthodox spiritual life could. Oh shit! I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
That the Orthodox spiritual life could possibly look like, and him and Saint Baisios met each other. Actually, there were a couple saints that in this era, like Saint Joseph the Hesychast. I actually got to see his skull one time. He, a monk that I was dear friends with used to keep it. And he used to talk to him. And yeah, well, it's funny. So the monk I'm talking about is probably just as important. I use this as kind of my little jealousy trick that I was friends with Saint Ephrem for 20 years, because he's seen as the great Orthodox apostle to the United States. The Virgin Mary came to him in a vision and held out a basket of 16 oranges and said, "This is how many monasteries you'll build in the United States." And he came here and he built 16 monasteries.
Okay.
And he was a miracle worker too, and he had, you could find a ton of videos of him on YouTube. I was personal friends with him for about 19 years until he passed. My dad introduced me to him when I was a little kid because my dad met him when he was in his 20s and only spoke Greek, never spoke a lick of English, but his spiritual father was Saint Joseph the Hesychast, which is one of the most prolific spiritual elders in the church. And they're investigating Ephrem's canonization now, which would be great because I don't think there would be any greater pick for the United States than for it to be him. But Saint Joseph's skull used to talk to him when he kept it in his room, and this was somebody that he knew for 20 years and eventually passed on. And I actually can't talk too much about what happens now, but you can kind of put two and two together with the new elder of the monastery and what happens with when you go up to his tomb. He might talk to you a little bit too. It's not uncommon. This happens. This is actually something that happens in the Orthodox Church all the time. There's on Mount Athos, there's a requillary. I don't know how to say the word.
Requillary, I believe.
Requillary. So after they bury you for a little bit, we don't embalm in Greece actually. In general, even secularly, we don't embalm.
Okay.
And what happens is, because there's just no funeral homes. What happens is that when the monastics do this, whether it be the monastics or regular people, we'll just put you in as you left, and it's after 5 years we'll dig you up, and normally, like, if you're just kind of hanging out as a Greek, your family will be given the bones back, and you're then kind of instructed to put them in a box. You can, like, build like a small chapel on your property and keep their bones there if you want to pray for them, whatever the case may be. Have them remembered.
Okay.
On the Holy Mountain, they have these big wooden sheds where they get everybody, when somebody is appropriately decomposed, they will get that individual and they'll put him inside of the bone hut. And when they get their skulls out, they'll etch the name of whoever the monk was on their skulls, so that whenever somebody goes back to check who was who, or say for example their bones start pouring oil, which happens sometimes. We know exactly who it is, and we can start sifting through some paperwork.
Right.
One time, because when miracles happen in the Orthodox Church, a lot of the times it's like, okay, well, here comes the paperwork. And
what a great thing for that to be the problem about. And like, okay, Haunt in chat is like, what the fuck? That's brutal. Well, no. So I remembered. This reminds me that I remember some vague conspiracy theory. Oh my God, I'm already down again. There's some vague conspiracy theory thing that I don't recall properly regarding funeral homes and embalming. And I think...
Oh, it's evil.
Yeah, I think I remember there being like a really good argument for it being a systematic desecration intentionally. And I don't remember the details right now. I got to go look that up again, because I haven't thought about that in years. I only knew it before in terms of like goth mortuary girls that I was interested in. Whereas now,
it's
like,
okay. We all like those.
Yeah, right. Of course. And especially during a particular time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Okay. So, but like, I think, like, obviously embalming is relatively new, and so it's not as if we don't have methods of properly interring the remains of our families for, I don't know, 80,000 years. So, like, what do you mean, dude? What do you mean? So, I'm pretty sure it's probably an evil intentional desecration. I'll bet, and I'll have to check up on the specifics of that at some point. But I'm pretty sure. I'm remembering just enough of it now.
For the sake of a matter of perspective, it's the same reason why we won't cut somebody's. Oh God, it's a hive tyrant.
Okay, at least I know what to do with that one.
So we won't.
Shit!
Like,
God
cut
damn!
Somebody. There's big boy. He's very unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving too.
Moving.
Yeah, he's moving. Oh boy. Wait, hold on. I'm dealing with this licensed rope, and he's not giving me an easy time too. I really wish we had our gun strikes back. This is not. This is not killer for me. Hey, tonight we may actually finish the. Oh, Last Brother Standing. What?
Yeah, I'm dead. He's down.
Is the hive tower down there? Oh fuck, it is. Okay, wait. I gotta move. I gotta wait for you to revive.
I got 20 seconds. Yeah, 20 seconds.
Oh no.
Oh no. Did you jinx it? Wait.
No. It's okay. I have a thing. Wait. Oh shit. Okay, wait. You're gonna come back. And
2,
I also have,
1. I'm up. Let's go.
All right, and I can probably go get this guy. Don't worry about getting this guy. Just shoot
yeah.
and survive and hang around the thing. And I also have help. Oh no. That's terrible news. Oh, that's such terrible news. Okay, wait, I got him. Are we gonna be back?
Shit.
All right, fuck it. Here we go. Nope, we're good. Boom. Okay.
Hell yeah. Great catch.
So yeah, so they'll put them in this rec relief. I don't know how fuck to say it.
Relic. Reliquary. Reliquary.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they'll put them in the. Oh, actually, no. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the evils of embalming.
Yes.
So the problem is that we need to think about how Christ formed man. God took Earth, which is alive. The Earth is alive.
Yeah, of course.
In a manner of speaking.
Oh, well,
And
in any manner. Yeah, of course it is. It is from whatever angle you want to cut it from. It's obviously alive. It's collectively alive. It's individually alive. It has organs.
Yeah.
What do you want?
And we like man shares the aspect of God in which we have the ability to create, but we don't have the ability to create from first principles. The reason we can, because like say for example, you told a scientist, no tools, nothing, make a chicken. They couldn't do it. They would need a pre-existing embryo. They would need some funky stem cell shit or something or other. But we can't create, even when it comes to children. We have to create from our own body, and every person is indeed created directly from their parents. But the idea is, oh wait, is he gonna get pissed at me now? Oh shit! Oh shit! Boy, is he upset.
I was shooting him and he fucking vanished. Like when you were down, which I guess is probably for the best. But oh no, there he is. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to make.
Oh, he found me. Oh boy. Okay. Well.
With chuck nades in that general direction. See if that helps.
Good idea. Well, I am down again. I don't know why I am made of tissue paper anymore, but boy, oh boy. I'm up.
That's okay. I'm gonna try. All right, you're up. I'm gonna try to. Could you buy turrets? No, you don't have money to buy turrets. Wait. I want to buy turrets.
I have money. Here, hang on. Shit.
Wait, no, I don't have money either. Yeah, buy turrets if you could.
Okay, well let me find a terminal he's not sitting right next to.
Yeah, buy turrets and buy the space marine. Buy any space marine that increases range damage or decreases melee or something like that. Because we're kind of struck. I'm sorry, Chad, if you're listening to us trying to figure out our management debacle here. We're in a bit of a
turrets.
crunch.
I buy turrets. What do we got here?
Sweet.
A tech priest.
So
okay. Shit.
Tech priest is good too. They'll buy us. That'll give us supplies continually. Man, we have so many more enemies coming. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is in game and in real life, it would appear. Jesus.
So yeah, when it comes to the nature of life and what truly possesses life, what we understand is that everything from the rocks to the trees to the celestial bodies, the planets, we understand that those all have life because they have an hypostasis. They have a nature. And this is nature in the classical academic term. Like Jesus Christ is the only thing with two natures. He is the fundamental classical nature of man and God. He's the theanthropos. He's the only thing that ever possessed anything like this.
Gotcha.
And
I'm up. Here we go.
But everything has a nature, and to have an hypostasis is to have life. Is to be a part of creation from that fundamental sense. We believe that plants have life we believe that plants, and again, when we're talking about this, we can't be hierarchical about it. There's not one kind of life that is greater or better. There's different kinds. And so planets and rocks and soil itself has its own moving element. They move. They have movement in a metaphysical sense. So plants have life in a more detectable form to where they grow and breathe and die in a more relational way to us.
Okay.
And animals have life as well as a soul. They don't have an immortal soul, but they have a soul in as much of the sense to where they can sense the spiritual.
Okay.
They can have a kind of interaction with it, and now the question is when they pass away, what happens? I like to keep it a little more up in the air. The saints have talked about it to where they don't go to a place of suffering, but they don't enter into the same paradise.
Oh shit! Golly.
They don't. We believe that in their situation, it is kind of they just kind of enter into a peaceful black. All except for bees, interestingly enough.
Okay.
Because bees, we believe, and this is a little bit of an old old Greek kind of folktale connected to the church, and it's like you won't find it in like a lot of documents like that, but we believe that they enter into the kingdom of heaven because they very selflessly sacrifice their entire lives for the good of everything else around them in the same way that Christ
Okay.
did.
Sure. Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, we believe they're, and same thing with praying mantises, that the Virgin Mary has like a certain reverence for them because those are the hordes. That's what we literally call them in Greece. We call them argoin tis Panagia. We call them the ligo argois tis Panagia, the little horses of the Virgin Mary. That in the kingdom of heaven on her chariot that she goes to and from. Those are what draw her carriage. And I actually don't know where that came from. It's weird because no other Orthodox Christian that I know outside of Greece has ever heard it. But like, if you ask even like people that don't like going to church about that here in Greece, it's like, well, yeah, obviously, if I believed in this, like, yeah, that's true.
Obviously.
And it's I feel like I'm in a fever dream. But anyway, yeah, and then there's humans, which have life and a soul, and we have the breath of the Holy Spirit, where we are ligos theanthropy, and the way that we are little god men, in the way that we're the only thing that is partially noetic and partially physical. It's the weirdest thing. Like, even we're technically, the angels are greater than us in this sense of spiritual hierarchy, closeness to the Lord, stuff like that. But like the thing is that we kind of talked about the different. I think me and you talked about this on the podcast, how the modes of will, how there's gnomic will and there's the stagnant angelic will that exists now.
Right.
They don't have any potential within them, which is so crazy. Like the gift of free will is more jarring when you realize that you do indeed have potential.
Right.
There is no. We're not greater than the Lord, but God doesn't have potential. He is. He's a fundamental first principle and source. Like, but you yourself, I mean, like, you can do whatever you want. You can go, which from like a pure. I'm so happy.
57 seconds.
Yeah, that's, thank God it's not like the 300 seconds.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, it's 300 seconds when we do the operations. But yeah, so. What the hell were we talking about? How the fuck did I get here? How the fuck did I get to this conversation? What the fuck is wrong with me? Wait, what the hell are we talking about?
No, that's it. The flow is interrupted. Apparently, I don't know. Oh no! Come on, Golden Boy! Come on, Golden Boy! 22 seconds. Come on, no!
Oh no, we were so close.
Oh, does he have it? No!
We got close. We got real close. Damn. 19. I'll take 19.
Goodness.
Last time we were like at 17. I'll take 19.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh damn. But no, so so anyway, maybe back. I'll skip over all my tangents. But back when they have the bone hut on the Holy Mountain.
Oh, the bone hut. Yes.
There was a story one time where a monk went in there, and no, okay, so yeah, that's what it was. A monk talks to his elder on the Holy Mountain and says, Father, how do we know if the resurrection is real? And he tells him in Greek, go to the bone hut and go ask them. And
Sure.
the
Yeah.
monk, the monk goes to the bone. I think the actual event of this story happening only happened about like 150, 200 years ago or something like that. It's actually a
Okay.
more recent one that occurred. He goes into the bone hut and he says, Christos anesti. He says, Christ is risen. And all of the skulls, like teeth chattering, and all responded to him saying alithos anesti, which means truly he is risen, which is really funny, because it's the main story of that thing happening, but that's happened a couple times when people have said that to bodies and they responded like that.
Okay. Well. And I bet no embalmed bodies. I bet the embalmed bodies, it won't do it.
That's how the fuck I got there. Wait, that's exactly how I got there. So the same reason we don't embalm bodies is the same reason why we don't cremate. Because in the way that the Lord... Oh, okay, the Lord made man and then that's Earth's alive. Okay, I understand how I'm retarded. So the idea is that... the God made the first man by taking him from the earth and reforming him. And when the resurrection occurs, when the Lord comes back to judge the living and the dead,
Okay.
There's going to be a bodily resurrection for everybody.
Right.
Like everybody ever. All the way back, like even Adam is going to come back. You're going to see everybody. And to embalm or to desecrate or to cremate a body, we see it as a disrespectful and implicit denial of the bodily resurrection. Because even Christ himself is going to return in the flesh and come to us as we return in the flesh ourselves, which is all like that. So yeah, like from at least that point of view, we kind of look at the whole thing and we're like, yeah, we don't do that to people. But also, if you're asking for the government reason why we don't do it here in Greece, there's just not enough room for cemeteries.
Sure.
And nobody likes selling their property. So.
Right. Well, no, I did mean it in the. I'm thinking of these things in terms of spiritual warfare at all times, really, at this point. So I'm very sure that is exactly what the hell, and why that's what's happening, why that's what they do at all. Otherwise, why would they care? Why would they care? Unless it were very bad for all of us. And so I'm just going to figure that's what it is. I'm going to figure that's what it is.
Oh, my secretary reminded me when we were talking about animals that enter paradise. He reminded me peacocks. Yeah, peacocks too.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
That's an older like less fleshed out tradition, but it's one like, okay. Have you walked into an Orthodox church yet or no?
No, I've
Okay.
never been.
First time you go, I'm hoping your wife dragged you into it before I do, but before you go, I want you to go look at the altar doors. And
Okay.
this is traditional across every Orthodox church on earth, that on the altar doors there are two peacocks etched into the doors. Because those are what we see as the guardians of the gates of heaven.
Okay.
And I think it's the Druze, the Druze religion. If my secretary is listening, then he's definitely going to remind me, because he actually knows more about this cult than I do.
Okay.
Like this Jewish branch off cult that their theology kind of ends in similarity with ours, because here, wait, I'm gonna start us something real quick. Hang on, because actually, yeah, we need to do this once. So we'll do this, because if we can finish this operation, then we get like 100 accolades if we do this before the 15th. So it's like
okay
going on in the game. So yeah, the Druze the Druids, I think that's what they're called. I can't fucking remember. They believe that I hope I'm getting this story right, in the Garden of Eden, the peacock, wait. Oh no, he's texting me right now. The Yazidis. Yeah,
Perfect.
they're Zoroastro. Monk, if you're hearing this, text me the story of what happened with the peacock angel. So from what I know of it, there was a peacock angel that visited. I don't know. He'll text me. He'll text me exactly what it is. But they basically worship the quote unquote peacock angel, and it's literally Satan. It's literally they will admit to you that thing, whatever that thing was, works in direct opposition to the God of creation.
Okay.
And they worship it. Which indicates in some weird way that whatever kind of it was probably Satan himself trying to appear still as a cherubim, because those kind of look like peacocks. I always found it like super. He'll text it to me and he'll. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, peacocks enter into the kingdom of heaven, and they're. I mean, that's like a part of the tradition anyway. What else? But yeah, no, the idea of like everything having life, I always found that kind of cool, because there's actually an old heresy condemned in the church about that subject.
Okay.
Maybe it was the Fifth Ecumenical Council. I don't know. No. I'm lying to you. It was in the same council that condemned Origin, which was. I think Monk will remind me. Monk, if you're listening to this, remind me what council condemned Origin. It might have been the third or the fifth. I don't remember. Something like that. But anyway, so there was this idea. Wait. He texted me. The peacock is the angel of God who told them. Okay, yeah, it was. I was right. It was Eden. How the hell did I die already?
Oh boy.
God told them not to eat the apple, and the angel said, "Yep, okay, that was it." It was like this kind of like selective salvation thing.
Okay.
What difficulty were we on?
I don't know what you said, brother. That's
okay, wait. Hang on. Let's go back. That's what I usually play on. That's absolute level. I have to
that's
that down.
that's hot smoke and fire right there.
Yeah, that's my usual like. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. So the idea that planets, there was an idea that Constantinople II, that was Seventh Ecumenical Council. So the Seventh Ecumenical Council condemned the idea that, like, if anybody ever tells you that planets are sentient, like they're like intelligences, how we are, and they can like think and emotion, control, or whatever, like the Earth is a being on the same level that we are, or Venus, or whatever. That is a heresy condemned by the Christian Church.
Okay.
As a side note, I just didn't like that. I keep forgetting. I think that's why the other reason we quit nicotine. I can't remember shit anymore.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So anyway, the peacock angel is the angel of God who told the Yazidis that not to eat the apple. No. God told them to eat the apple, and the peacock angel told them they need to eat it to be worthy of God. Nicaea II was Seventh Ecumenical Council. The Fifth Ecumenical Council was Constantinople II. Okay, yeah, that's how much I'm forgetting shit. But after being expelled from the Garden of Eden because they ate the apple that the peacock angel told them they needed to eat to be worthy of God. The peacock angel said, "Don't pray to God, pray to me instead until you're strong enough to pray to God." So yeah, it was literally Satan. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they worship Satan. I always thought that was such a weird one. My secretary, I think my secretary was like, no. Yeah, my secretary was one of the first people to tell me that. Him and my spiritual father told me about these guys. There's you would, whenever he's available to come on the show, he is super well versed in obscure desert religions that aren't Judaism, Christianity, or Islam, that have kind of tracked down through That we have a little secret, but I'm just gonna tell you on here because we wanted to do this. We wanted to be some of the first people that translated the Babylonian Talmud into English eventually.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Publicly, anyway. Certainly first publicly. I bet there's an LLM crunching the fuck out of it right now.
I don't think it would be able to do it. The Jerusalem Talmud, from what I understand, is more boring and much less packed with stuff. The Babylonian Talmud is the one you want to go for. This is a part of the Jewish diaspora that used this Talmud in Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
After the destruction of the Second Temple. But yeah, there's stuff like that we want to do. I think we wanted to I don't know how we're gonna do this. We talked about bringing the Egyptian book, doing like a fresh translation of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. What else did we want to do? I don't know. Yeah, we wanted to get a whole bunch of freaky manuscripts and just put them in. And
yeah.
Now, to say that, is it good to do such a thing like that? No. Because I have this kind of personal opinion about people who are curious about Maya and stuff like that. I was into it for a while. I didn't practice in any capacity. Wait. Okay, wait. I'm getting side. You got your chat and I got my side chat from my.
Oh yeah.
From my producer, my secretary.
Oh, okay.
Jerusalem was the one that. Yeah, he's telling me Jerusalem was the Jerusalem Talmud was the one that was used by the Jews of the Roman Empire. It's much more normal, but nobody uses it now. The Babylonian Talmud was the one used for the Jews in the Persian Empire that gets fucking insane, quote unquote. That's the one that modern Jews use.
Got
they
it.
Use the Jerusalem one. They use the Babylonian Talmud.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, no, like the idea is like even reading stuff like the Talmud, I would even put the Quran in this. I would even put the Quran in this denominational factor. There is a lot of satanically introduced shit in all of them. Even
of course there are.
Even going all the way back to the to the old Babylonian and Egyptian magic text, I would say this all within the same realm of don't touch it as the Aleister Crowley manuscripts.
Right.
And I remember I was writing a book when I was 16 surrounding the connection between modern forms of lower Wicca and their connection to the more light practices. Not light, they'll all send you to hell. I mean, like, as my spiritual father would say, if you're gonna go to hell, don't go for a stupid reason. These like kind of watered down Om based yoga and what else do people do? Oh yeah, people are playing around with chakra crystals, which is super satanic. There is a good way to do it. There is actually like a spiritually okay way to view the crystal thing, but it's not what anybody does now. And I was writing this book, kind of connecting back. Okay, well, here's like the connection. Here's the connection of manifestation with the Orphic mystery cults from the time of the apostate, and here's like the watered down manifestations of Buddhism and its inevitable inmixing with Hinduism. And while I was doing a lot of the research for this, my sleep paralysis came back bad.
Ha!
And I had the kind of fully aware, like, seeing figures sleep paralysis my entire life, and I had it. I've had it. It tortured me a lot when I was younger. I've only had it a couple more times as an adult, but it only got super bad twice during this event that I'm telling you about, and then when I told my mother that I was going to be a priest. Those are the only 2 times. Which from my deduction, it happened for 2 completely separate reasons.
Right.
You know, I was going through a horrifically spiritual hard time where I developed like this hyper sensitivity to demons, I guess.
Right.
Like it was just, and you know, I all these years later, I asked my spiritual father, you know, what the deal of such a thing could be, and he and I think it was actually me asking him. It was me asking him if I could write another book like that. It was going to be on a different topic, but I wanted to do something else. And just the general dangers of looking at stuff like that from an interest perspective. And his answer was one of the greatest answers that I could have ever kind of put together myself.
Oh.
And it was like, oh, well, you know what? It was kind of like a screw you for thinking of that line before I could.
Okay.
If he told me dead to my face, he was like, if you stare into the void, do you expect it not to stare back?
Right.
Right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. This is the unfortunate, like, you do always get exactly what you would expect out of anything. Like, there are no surprises when it comes down to it for any of these things. It is when you stop to think and take a thing serious. Any spiritual happening that you bother to take seriously will always seems to strike you with like yeah, of course. Like, duh, you knew that. You did already know that. You were just trying to play games with it. And then like, oh, I was trying to play games with it, wasn't I? You know, it's I don't know. Any time like I ever tried to find a trick to see into my own future, that was the wall that I came up against of like, no, you already know that. You do already know exactly how it all works.
The funny thing is that if you ask God, he might tell you. And the only condition on which he wouldn't tell you is if it would be bad for you to know. That's like if it would be bad for you to know too early. Mm-hmm. That's like the whole thing. And like the overarching conversation of this all becomes, you know, the spiritual life is one that can only be practiced with humility. It's like you need to use humility not as this self-degrading kind of element of lowering your person into like it's not like that. It's not what people think humility is. Humility needs to be used like a weapon. It needs to be used like a tool that's supplementary to love, like as an energy. Humility and love as these extant energetic forces that grant you the access that you want to have to the spiritual life. And if you think about the parallels of how doing that and how not doing that grants power, I mean, again, like I think that if anybody goes to read the lives of Saint Porphyrios, Saint Paisios, Saint Ephrem of Cathonakia, and I'm only bringing them up specifically because these are the most recent examples of some of the most recent saints that we have eyewitness like I know priests who knew these people on a friend level, and if you hear about the miracles that they performed and the perspectives that they generated out of their lives, it's one of those things where you understand, okay, well, this is where miracles exist. And if you think of the inverse, where there is power, but it's not the power of God. I mean, think of demonic ritual and the headspace that you have to be in to participate in something like that. It is you're not asking anything. You're looking to master. It's frankly, I love Star Wars for the fact that it almost exactly mirrors the attitude of the Jedi and the Sith towards the Force.
Sure.
It's like You're not like when you talk about the Jedi or whatever, they're working in obedience to this force. They're working in harmony with this force. When it comes to the Sith, they want a powery, they want a mastery and a power over this element. And this presents a problem, because what happens when that thing tries to take back the control that again you lent from it? Because all power outside of physicality is lent, and if you don't know who you owe the loan to, then you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, and I would say that the physicality is also lent through physical creation. It's not like you get to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely have had parts of my life where I was stronger. You don't get to keep any of it, you know? So, I would say that's most likely an absolute fact, as opposed to, you know, something that can be partitioned away. Partitioned was the word I wanted. Partitioned.
Yeah. It can be dashed from your sphere of influence, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
But that's what life's all about. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, I talk about it a lot with people. It's like, you know, how much when Christ asks us to give up everything for him, it's like, well, you know, yeah, I mean, it would be easy to let go of to let go of the money, or to let go of women, or to let go of, you know, drugs, because it's supplementary to our personhood. It's not who we are at the core.
Right.
But when Christ in the gospel says, "He who does not hate father or mother or brother or sister for my sake is not worthy of me," like what do you do with that, right? It's like that becomes like we're now entering into a realm of sacrifice that is antithetical to our senses, to our sensibilities as a society. And when it gets even down to that, I mean, you know, sure, I actually know some Christians, some young people who are antagonists. You got to get in here, buddy.
Oh shit! All right, I did not realize.
No, you're good. But yeah, but like I even know some young Christians who had to deny their families to come into Orthodoxy, or came from those kind of households or whatever.
Right.
When Christ asks you for everything, when the Lord asks you, okay, what kind? So, at the source of every sin is pride. What parts of your pride are you willing to decouple from yourself to be with me? And it's the pride of fear is pride itself. I think that's perspective that a lot of people miss. Understanding that is the thing that turned me into an adult, I would say. Because the sheer entitlement of it's the fear more than anything, I think, would be best described as an insult to God.
Okay.
He looks at us directly and says, to be really brave and to be truly fearless is about the most Christian thing you can do, because when Christ tells us, it's my favorite part of the gospel. I'm just gonna read it, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I know I've been kind of pulling from scripture today a lot, but listen, again, also, if anybody's interested in Orthodox Christianity and you're reading the Saints, great, that's awesome, you should. Go read your Bibles. It's something that we miss far too often, and it's something that literally feeds us. Like, and you don't understand how hungry you are until you look into it. I wanna say it's Matthew 23. Oh no, Matthew 23 is my other favorite part of the Bible, when he's chewing out the Pharisees. It is. Let me see. It is.
Where is he? There.
Oh yeah. Okay. So. How the hell did I just lose it? Yeah, Matthew 11. At that time, Jesus answered and said, I thank you, Father, Lord in heaven and earth, for you have hidden these things from the wise and prudent. Wait. No. Well, it is this. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. It's fantastic. It is, but that's not exactly. It's the same thematically, but let me see.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. Okay, here it is. When Christ tells them, a disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above the master. It is enough for a disciple that he be like his teacher and a servant like his master. And if they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more will they call those of his household? Therefore do not fear them, for there is nothing covered that will not be revealed, and hidden from what will not be known. Whatever I tell you in the dark, speak in the light. And whatever you hear in the ear, preach on the rooftops, and do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill... Actually, did I ever tell you about this one, when Christ says this? He says, do not fear those who kill the body, but can't kill the soul. Rather fear him who is able to destroy both the body and soul in hell. Do you know what's really interesting about that? Because a lot of people think he's talking about Satan. The H in that wording is always capitalized in English Bibles for a reason.
Well, no,
because he's talking about himself.
Right, of course. No, I never had any thought that Satan was capable of destroying souls. That's not a thing he can do.
But well, I mean, a lot of the reason people think that is because a lot of people don't realize God is in hell too.
Well, it's everywhere. God's everywhere.
Everywhere, filling all things. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what omnipresent means. Come on, guys. Sometimes people study so poorly. I am not. At no point have I been a Christian officially, right? Like I the last time I was in any church anywhere, I was like 5. But like, you just can't. I don't know, man. You can't study that badly.
People, listen. The most important person in my life was my grandfather. It was my mom's dad, and he was built. Okay, you ever watch Lilo and Stitch? You remember that Disney movie?
I have not, but all right.
My mom walked in as I was talking about that. And she walks. It's 3 a.m. where I'm at. She'll walk around like a little ghost in the middle of the night, and she'll just kind of like whisk past everybody's rooms to come say hi to everybody as she's sleepwalking.
Very good, very good.
But no, yeah, it was her dad, and he was. But yeah, have you ever watched Lilo and Stitch, the Disney movie with the blue monster?
I'm aware of it. I haven't watched it.
There's a character in it called Jumba. I wish you would have seen it because there's a character in it that looked exactly like my grandfather. He was like this Hulk. He had these hands that were like he had hands that were like the size of volleyballs.
Okay.
He used to do this thing. He would grab your hand and he would give you a handshake like if it was his first time meeting you, and he would twist your knuckles with his fingers. And he would hurt like a motherfucker. But he was this big, huge guy, and he completely illiterate. He came from Greece when he was 16 or 17. Couldn't read English. Couldn't read Greek. Couldn't write English or write Greek. All he knew was a signature. He put a stick of dynamite on the elementary school principal's desk to threaten him to give him leave of absence so he could go work on the boats with his father, which is who I'm named after, his dad. But made a shit ton of money, moved to America, started a industrial oil tank painting company, and his thing he always told me, it was like, don't be fucking lazy. He used to talk about, don't be fucking lazy, be a good worker. And it's like, and that was like the whole thing that my family was about being a good worker, and it's the thing that helped me be a better scholar and a better theologian, better than anything, because I look at the text and I look at the stuff that I'm talking about, and I'm like, guess what? If you're fucking lazy, you're gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Or people are gonna look at you like you're retarded. That's all it is. And I think the primary reason that a lot of people miss shit is because they're lazy and they don't read as much as they want people to believe they do.
That's true. Yeah, I am guilty of not reading enough generally, but I don't know. I just I look
at it like my thing is I look at it like a day job. I'm like, okay, don't be fucking lazy. It's like imagine if you're at work and it's like somebody's like, oh, look at that lazy MF, like he's not really supposed to. That's
right.
how I look at scholar endeavor. You know what I mean? That's also why I'm a little rough about the whole subject, because it's like I'm not like some prissy fucking intellectual, like, you know, rubbing his ball sack at Fordham or something. God, I hate Fordham College. Anyway, but yeah, so anyway, Christ says, wait, yeah, are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin, and not one of them falls to the ground apart from your Father's will, but the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore, for you are of more value than many sparrows. And he's, wait, where the heck? Come on, Lord, where do you say this? Where do you say this? I just died looking this way. Just leave me to death for a second.
Spiritual integrity compromised.
Where does he say it?
The island will transport us.
Where does he say it?
Ooh, he raised you.
Here it is. Wait, here it is. Okay, wait.
Where the fuck
am I safe up on this rooftop?
I do not know. I'm not even sure where y'all are. I can't see you from here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you are.
You gotta go. Okay, yeah. You gotta go on those elevating platforms. That kind
Oh.
of rise and fall away.
Oh, I see. Okay, I did not realize. All right.
Boy, there's a lot of shit to fight in this one. Yeah, okay, here it is. I found exactly what I was looking for.
Vital organs losing efficacy.
It is Matthew. Is this Matthew? Yeah, it's Matthew 6. What's it called? Also, when you're looking for Bible verses, don't use Google. Go find them yourself. Okay?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh no, I'm not yelling at you. I'm telling the people in the chat. Do not be lazy. Learn this whole thing inside out if you could. It's actually kind of fun when you can kind of just whip it out like a Southern Baptist pastor when you can start naming verses just out of nowhere.
Okay.
He says, wait, did I just? Oh yeah, this one. Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body or what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap. I really love when he says this. He says, "Look at the birds of the air." Oh shit! Did I miss the fucking boat? Wait, I missed the boat. Hang on, I'll come back.
Red Cube, it's all built in OBS. It's all actually just built in OBS, and there's no other program because I haven't bought any VTuber stuff yet. Actually, what webcam? There you go.
Webcam based. I use all Elgato peripherals, and they've been serving me okay for a while. Is that stuff that you use?
Go XLR I got, but no, I don't have any other Elgato. Not that like I got the Go XLR interface. There was a guy in chat that was asking me how I make my Hypercube hyper, and so it's it. Yeah, and then now everybody says no. That's what he looks like. My wife has insisted now that's just how I look. Third eye pineal cam. Yes.
I use I'm gonna send you pineal gland supplements that what's it called, my buddy suggests for me. I don't use them for I don't use them for spiritual reasons, but it's what's it called, it's a thyroid reactive. It's really good for you. If you want to go on an anatomic crusade on yourself, try to get your thyroid functionality higher. That's a huge thing. Weight loss, muscle growth, brain functionality, everything. But yeah, Christ says, look at the birds of the air, for neither they sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value Think about how cool that is. I love that. That's like, it's such a sweet thing for him to say. He's like, these animals, like, you know, there's nothing that you could do that, you know, would make you like these things don't do anything and they're taken care of, and God loves you more than He loves them. So why do you feel like you need these prerequisites for God to love you? It's really
Right,
for Him
right.
to take care of you. So for people that feel like they haven't done enough to contribute to themselves for them to return to the Lord and for Him to take care of them. But anyway, he says, which of your he also says, which of you by worrying could add 1 cubit to his stature? Somebody should tell that to clavicular. So
Right,
why,
exactly.
so why do you? He told everybody to stop trying to hype max. But he says, why? So why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, and neither they toil nor spin. And yet I say to you that even Solomon in all of his glory was not arrayed like one of these. So now if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is today, and tomorrow tomorrow it is then thrown into the oven, will He not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what shall I eat, or what shall I drink, or what shall I wear? For after all these things the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knows that you need all of these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you.
Right.
Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. It is the best verse in all of the Gospels. It's the best thing at the end. It is. I love it so much because it is the entire human condition solved.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. The idea of just worrying about the wrong thing, always worrying about the wrong thing. There is enough to do. There will always be enough to do. And if you are distracted about the things that don't matter, things that obviously don't matter because you're just thinking about them the wrong way, right? Like so much this goes along with what we were talking about earlier, actually. And I brought up, I didn't know the name of the verse there, but no, I had brought this up earlier. That I think that's a sword that cuts both ways. I think that the more that you do, it's not as if there will come a day where there isn't enough to do.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
but that's not a reason to stop now. That's a reason to do more. You know what? I have the feeling where I feel like I've been thought jammed.
Tell me.
No, it's just sometimes the exact opposite of the speech flow state happens, where instead of just being able to jam, instead of just being able to go, everything stops. And I think I should stop. You know what it is? I should stop trying to re-quote and paraphrase the scripture. That's what the problem is.
That's okay.
I'm
You learn things about yourself when you read stuff like
Yes,
this.
yes.
That's the hard truth of it,
okay.
It's like, but I mean, yeah, like look, there's a limit to it because it's like I think once you get into the level of making like 30 bastardized sermons at a mega parish to the tune of a shitty guitar strummed by some guy in a man bun and a flannel, yeah, then you're approaching a problem. But it's like,
Oh no, I just mean right now in this moment. How silly of me to try and yes and the Bible.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's its own.
Yeah. You can't. I think, especially now in this generation of people, I think somebody should tell you, listen, God will help those who help themselves, and you do need to.
Oh, of course.
A little bit
Yeah.
and contribute your own life, but the idea of not enough. Well, I got to be honest with you. From a very sincere perspective, I've been struggling with this. It's like I should have been working on the money or how I look or the relationships I build or whatever it was earlier in life. Now approaching kind of my late 20s, but
Yeah.
it's like I literally made it kind of a rule for myself where I'll go back and I'll read this whenever I'm worried about stuff like that, because it's like, well, what's sufficient for the day? The Lord knows exactly what we need to. The future that is good for us may not look like the future we want.
Right.
But God will give us the future that we need and the future that we want simultaneously. Because there's even things that we want that we don't even know that we want.
Right, of course. And as you change as a person, what you want changes also. You know, that's very clear. And so whatever the version of you that is the best is, of course, going to want different things than the you that exists now. You know, there's not it would be ridiculous for me to assume that this is my perfect me or my most perfect me, whatever that would be. So, of course, my wants will also change.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like at the same time, it's like, the place I'm at in life, it's like you start, I don't know if you went through this, I don't know if people approaching their late 20s also, experience something like this, but the lines between what we want and what we need and what we think we're supposed to have where we're at, kind of preconditioned by all our decision making prior to where we are. It's like that's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
of
gotta
course.
be honest.
No, it is.
Because I know what I want, and I also know doing exactly what, okay, the baseline conversation of like, well, you know exactly what's good for you, and you know exactly what you need to do. Yeah, like I get that. I'm past that point, and I'm doing what I should be doing, for the most part. It's like, but also this idea of like, well, there's like, I know what I want, and I'm working towards it, and I know what I need.
Okay.
And that's also more of that. What you need is always kind of a thing about, well, you need to become the kind of person where that sort of stuff just kind of appears. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you develop into the kind of person that needs things. You become the kind of person that gets the things that they need. But the idea of, I don't know, there's like this lofty kind of expectation in the air, so to speak, when you're at the stage of life that I guess a lot of people go through, and it's
Yes.
uncomfortable. It is.
Absolutely.
What do you do with that? What do you make of it?
Well, what I did about it is probably not the best idea. But what I did about it was I got way more megalomaniacal. I went full ego trip. I went with the sort of like, yeah, I dare you kind of a thing. And I went, and I had to do that to become who I am now.
Right.
So I think I would say, the juice is in the squeeze. So you're whatever it is that you're going to get to, what you want right now, no matter how firmly you know it, may be different. There's going to be different shit. There's just going to be different shit at some point, and that's good. But you should still pursue what you need to pursue today, because otherwise you just won't get there. You just won't get there regardless without today.
Yeah, like I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with doing the hard thing. That's like
Well, it's not just okay. So this is what is very difficult. It's not doing the hard thing once. It's doing the hard thing every minute of every day, and like as often as you can, right? And obviously, man, I don't either. I should do
nobody
much more.
Ever does. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but it's relentless need, right? To pursue whatever the best thing is that I can conceive of relentlessly. That's tough. But that will. I don't know if it's resigning yourself to it. Maybe that's not the right word. The committing
think
yourself
what it is,
to it possibly is
it's
better.
like- I think it's like I think I said a little bit of it before, but it's almost like you have to transition into the kind of person that makes those decisions instead of making those decisions. That's a perspective that's helped the hell out of me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I am a, how would I describe my bad parts? I am a very I'm highly impulsive. I don't have a good sense of self-discipline. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm very vain. I'm a complete narcissist. Without having that much to be narcissistic about, but the idea is like, you know, I started reframing my thinking around discipline and responsibility under the framework of, well, don't make those decisions. Transform into, like, if you were disassociating, or you're not even dissociating. You play you do you play RPGs? You play
Yeah.
Control before? You play Mass Effect, shit like that.
Yeah, I play Mass Effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you look from the outside in. It's like, okay, well, you know, you have to define yourself,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, so this is your name. This is how tall you are. This is, you know, whatever. Like, there's
Sure,
some
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
base. There's some baseline things that really can't be adjusted. But if we're talking about character, if we're talking about, like, you know, virtue and principle, we're talking about like the baseline elements of a person. What does, this is you. You get to do whatever you want. So what does this person do? And, you know, this is a conversation that I think me and you had before in a more abstract way about the conundrum of infinite optionality, and how
Yeah.
how having too wide of an aperture causes more problems than less.
Absolutely.
But, you know, when people get over that hump, and they could kind of and they can zero in and start to make some targets, then the conversation then becomes, okay, well, I'm the kind of person that likes this, I think, and this is also the kind of person that does these and these things because they're good for them, and it'll later develop them into the person that they are. Not that they necessarily want to be, but this is who the person is. You have to define yourself within this self-inflicted system of principles and confines to turn into what you inevitably want to turn into. Because, I mean, and I hope this doesn't sound offensive to anybody listening, or as a thing or whatever, but and I'm sure everybody knows at least a couple people like this. A person who is undefined usually turns into like a dope smoking, like, porn addict who
Sure.
doesn't really worry about anybody beyond themselves, because there's no definition to what.
Yeah,
that
they've
person
set no
cares
standard.
about
It's not
beyond
possible
the
to judge.
animalistic self-desire. You know what I mean? Like abstract self-desire,
Right.
like as an impulse.
Mhm.
I return, ready.
So yeah, it's like, you know, that framing did a lot for me, because then you get to kind of look at yourself, and when you deviate from those confines, you get to kind of be like, well, shame on you for not adhering to the principle of for not adhering to the definitions that you set for yourself.
Yeah.
And that I think something about that draws a harder line in the mind of a person, and that might be beneficial or something like that.
Fragmentation grenade.
You know?
Yes. Well, it is. So a problem that I've had with modern discourse, like since boyhood, was the people calling for no judgment on things, right? That they would say, "Oh, well, you know, I don't judge, and that's not my place," and da 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 da, as if this was a positive thing.
the same liberals that will scream disability rights to the top of their lungs that will then go make fun of Greg Abbott for being in a wheelchair.
Right.
You know.
Meanwhile, I make fun of him. My favorite response to Greg Abbott is to tell him that he doesn't stand for anything.
He's the Goyim, but you know,
Yes.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I hit him with how he doesn't stand for anything. I think that's perfect.
No, he does stand for things. He stands for one country in the Middle East.
Yeah, apparently. So, he sits for Israel, but he doesn't stand for Texans. Fucking Greg Abbott and his retard. So anyway, but the idea of having no judgment, as if that were positive, it would just mean you're lost. If you what do you mean you can't judge? How would you? How do you know left from right? Is there such a thing as left from right? Oh, that's not what we meant. I just meant blah blah blah. Let's see. Mycodia says, Part 1, judge not. Part 2, lest you be judged. Don't point fingers unless you're willing to be criticized too. It's perfectly reasonable to criticize. Yes, I am constantly judged, and I do a lot of judging. And that's the correct thing to do. You know, I think it's wrong to fail to properly judge what's going on around you. And I think that happens so much. It's, of course, very bad to judge poorly. It's very bad to judge incorrectly. That leads to more bad decisions. But if you don't have, if you don't have, if you've never exercised your judgment, well, what do you expect to happen? You know?
Look, this is kind of a lib shitty centrist position of mine.
Okay.
But the fair, and I think a lot of people know this already. It's somewhere deep down within themselves that the truth of the matter is that for the truest and best judgment is judgment of the self. Not
right.
to the level where it becomes a complex, but you know, I don't need to tell you what kind of people are out there.
This is true.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the problem is that we can look at other people all day long and we can say, well, you know, this person is thus, that person is thus. You know, from a the spiritual perspective on this is super quick and easy. It's like, yeah, judge not lest you be judged. I mean, just look at the Lord's Prayer where he says, forgive. It doesn't say simply forgive us our trespasses. It says, forgive us our trespasses as meaning in the same way. Forgive us our trespasses in the same way we forgive those who trespass against us. Meaning, very, very, very literally, that the way God judges us will be precisely with the same severity that we judge other people in our lives. And, you know, the idea there is, okay, well, you know, how do you fix the world if you don't make judgment calls? There's a couple Orthodox guys. Listen, the people on the Orthodox internet that I don't like know very well that I don't like them. I gotta keep it secret. That goes all the way over to priests and bishops too. But
sure.
The idea is that the true way to fix the world around you is to become the beacon or the epitome or the standard of what you want to see, surrounded. What you want to see is what you want to see everywhere. And you know, being frank again, if if anybody commits themselves to defining themselves, becoming the kind of person that makes these decisions instead of simply flippantly making these decisions on an individual level.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, with the way people don't give a shit, because of what do people care about? I don't really look at these guys, the Instagram guys with the cars and the abs and all this bullshit, and it's like, okay, awesome.
Right.
What do you like? You like money? You like people being attracted to you? Wow, that's original.
Yeah, right.
The idea is that having like these deep-seated sets of metaphysical conditions define you as more human than a lot of people, because everything that 90% of people strive for now is base animalistic instinct that I don't know what it is. It's like, is it the preconditions that help them self-justify to be worthy of life? Because that's a sad way to live.
Right.
What you need these things, or you need to meet these preconditions, or you need to move out of your parents' house at a certain age, or you need to, where you don't do these things to, because it's the thing to do to find yourself worthy because other people said them. Why do you want it?
Right.
Why
Well,
do you need these things?
you have to figure out what's valuable to you, and then you have to actually stick to it. In a lot of ways, so you know how it almost doesn't matter which diet you pick, as long as you pick a diet and then stick to the diet, suddenly your health improves.
My uncle does crazy ass diets. I love my uncle. One day when he's gonna be where I live soon. I'm gonna put him on the mic one day when we're doing this whole laugh your ass off
All right.
trip. But he did this one where, listen, this guy is, oh god, my godfather too. He is 46-ish.
Okay.
The scariest person I know. He's got muscles like a Hulk. He's like, and he's lean too. He's like a gorilla. And he does these diets where he goes, oh well now I'm gonna try keto, and now I'm gonna try. He kind of,
right.
He's full Greek, but he kind of talks like a black guy. He's like, well, now I'm gonna do the salt diet. And he did the salt diet one time. He almost got hypertension.
Salt diet. What do you? There's a. All right.
Okay. Well, actually, as crazy as it sounded at the time, and I was kind of making fun of him, there is very good literature behind this. So, the process of a caloric deficit is that your body is fighting against you to hold on to this. So basically, yes, when you are in a caloric deficit, your body is in survival mode. Your body is very intentionally holding on to fat cells.
Okay.
For the sake of you not dying because your body thinks you're dying. The back and forth battle is you need to be in a caloric deficit for long enough to where those fat cells die when it's not getting replaced with dietary fats, right? Because there's fat inside of your fat cells. Those fat cells will drain out if you remove dietary fat from your diet, and you burn enough calories for the body to use the fat cells as energy. What happens is when a fat cell is depleted from, by the way, I keep saying dietary fat because if you go on a high carb, moderate protein, there is actually deficits to doing a high protein diet. That will actually tank your.
You were talking about this.
Yeah. And so high carb to maintain your muscle mass, a little moderate protein to help your muscles still grow while you're in the deficit. Low dietary fat, because people think, oh well, carbs are bad for you. Carbs are not bad for you. Carbs help maintain muscle mass as long as you're in a caloric deficit. Your carbs will help retain the muscle that you have without those also degrading with the fat. They'll help retain the muscle. When you consume carbs, I think it's like 97% of all the carbs that you ingest will not translate into fat, into a deficit. It's actually a very exhausting process for your body to translate carbs into fat. Dietary fat, any dietary fat will directly translate into visceral and subcutaneous fat. So it's important to have a little bit of it throughout your day because dietary fat is the thing that keeps your skin internally moisturized. So if you want like elastic, pretty skin, you do need a little bit of. So yeah, you don't want to complete. My diet right now, I'm on a lot of bread. I'm on a lot of fruit. We have what do you call meat on a stick? We call it kalamakia. What's like a skewer.
Yeah, just a skewer. It's a shish kebab. Yeah. There's the word.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have a couple of those every day. I'll eat a shit ton of fruit, shit ton of bread.
Okay.
Lot of natural sugars. I will always make sure to have just one ice cream cone every day, just for the sake of
Oh.
yeah, just for the sake of, because people are like, oh well, you need to completely cut sugar out in a caloric deficit. You're gonna look like one of those freaky, like 49-year-old guys who do triathlons and they look like they're deflating. You don't want that. We want to look cool and sexy and fun. How like Germans who go to like metrosexual nightclubs do. So that's what we want to look like. You know what I mean?
That's such a European ass way to say that.
Of course, because listen, we need to be cool and sexy and fun. And for breakfast we eat chocolate bar and 2 cigarettes. And then we go to work and we do no work. And then for lunch we have, I don't know, about chocolate cigarettes. That's what we want to look like those guys. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
So it's like, so anyway, what happens is that now, when your fat cells die, your body will try to save the fat cells from dying by filling them with water. Another side note, if you ever see a chick who's like 250 pounds constantly sipping on a water bottle, the problem is, it could be one of two problems, because most of the girls that do that usually have those filled up with vodka and orange juice.
Yeah. Well, and it's the Labubu water. It's full of all kinds of other shit.
Oh yeah, who the fuck knows? But anyway, the idea is that that water is what the body uses to retain the life of fat cells. You shouldn't deprive yourself of water. You should never dehydrate yourself. It's one of the worst things we do. But the way you get around this problem is for your body to efficiently use water for the sake of hydration, instead of for the sake of preserving fat cells, is potassium and salt. So when you're kind of trying to go on a weight loss kick while preserving, just look at, we're gonna call it looking better from now on, because
Sure.
like when I say like, oh well, we're on an aggressive cut, or we're bulking or whatever, I don't give a shit. That's a product of early YouTube bullshit. I'm so fucking sick of it.
Okay.
When you're doing this sort of thing, people should be doing, what's the smallest measurement of spoon? What is it? Tablespoon?
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon.
Yeah, teaspoon.
Teaspoon's little one. Teaspoon of salt. Get a banana or two in with the day. Still drink as much water as you should. But if you do that, your body will then use the salt and the sodium and the potassium for hydration instead of for fat preservation. So that's like this whole process is kind of defined out in the Randall cycle. This is an old Ray Peat method thing, and also Ray Peat liked ice cream, so I kind of subscribe to that too. And I
there
really
you go.
Like ice cream.
Well, who
My
doesn't?
favorite.
I don't know if I can trust a man who doesn't like ice cream.
What I'm asking this: what's your death row meal?
My death row meal? Oh man. That's a good question. You know what? I haven't thought about that in a very long time.
I change it twice. I think about this quite a lot for some reason.
Okay. Gosh. The warden's wife.
What's the warden's wife? Flesh told me you're evil.
I just, like if I just get one. Oh, Haunt in chat says, hold up, what if she's gross? Haunt, it's not there for me to enjoy it. It's there for me to leave an impression. I'm sure she is gross. That's not the point.
Oh Lord.
I don't know what are some good throughout history. I don't know what are the great final meals of martyrs throughout history. I suppose I would have to take the cues from them. I don't know.
Oh All right. I got mine. So,
Okay, hit me.
So it would be. So there's two meat plates there's two meat dishes I would do. There's one it's it wouldn't matter if I said it in Greek. It's a lamb clay pot that
Okay.
we do here. So basically the Arabs are really good at doing this. They'll get a whole bunch they'll get their rice and they'll get their parsley and they'll do mushrooms, steamed mushrooms, and they'll do lamb and they'll do peppers and they'll put them inside this pot. And the point is that you cook everything from the bottom up. And you keep adding stuff on top of each other, and by the time it gets to the table, it's still like as hot as it was on the stove because the surrounding pot is still heating it from the inside. But you flip it over, and then you take the pot off, and everything kind of falls apart.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on some TikTok.
We do a small clay pot version of it here, where it's shredded lamb, it's cheese. It's like it's goat cheese. We use goat cheese for it. We use two or three different kinds of goat cheese. We do mushrooms. We do a lot of basil, and we do a lot of tribi and paprika. And I think we put some potatoes in it too. And dude, there's a place by my house. There's a place 15 minutes from my house that sells it, and I go there like once a week to get it.
Okay.
I literally want to cry. It's so good. I would get one of those. Did I explain to you the second one? Did I ever explain to you what muri is?
You might have, but I wouldn't necessarily remember the word. So tell me.
So we'll get a lamb. We'll shred it up. You need a whole lamb to do this. Like you need to kill it fresh to do it. But we'll get a lamb. No. It's a goat. I'm sorry, it's a goat. It's a
okay.
Gitsakya. So we get a Gitsakya. You kill it. You got to take its head apart, and you shred the meat. But as you're shredding the meat, you cook the meat, and then you shred it in a strainer, and you let all of the juice from the strainer go onto rice.
Mm-hmm.
And then that rice will marinate in the goat fat juice.
Okay.
And then you get the shredded goat. You chop up the brain, and the brain when you cook goat brain, it comes out in these little black cubes, and the goat. And so you put the shredded lamb, the rice, and the goat brain all into a pot, but then you get the rice and you Japanese style do fried egg in it, and you put all of that together. Dude, oh my god. Dude, oh my god. It's so killer.
I gotta tell you, the brains throw me off, brother. I don't know.
They're so good. They're so good. It tastes like what does it taste like? They're super salty. It's like internally like salty, and it's like it doesn't have like a rubbery texture. It has the same consistency of like Turkish delight, if you've ever seen it.
I have not.
It's like those you know what they are? They're the Turkish delights or the oh my god.
I've only ever heard of it from Narnia.
They're the square. They're the square red or yellow gummy. This super pot. They're Greek originally, but the Turks took that like they take everything else.
Right.
They're these square gummy. They're these square gummies that they put the powdered sugar on, and it's basically like it's like animal gelatin. Whenever you and your wife get to like a food, not like a grocery store, but like a real food supply store, like an Arab one or something like that.
Okay.
Like you'll find them there. They're killer. If you eat more than one, you'll want to have a heart attack because like they're basically
all right.
sugar, but they're killer. So anyway, but yeah, I would get those. I would eat those two. It would all be with a side of McDonald's French fries.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get okay, here's another one. Do you know what a fish bait sundae is?
I do not.
Okay. Fish bait sundae. Super popular in the Midwest as an ice cream sundae. You get mint chocolate chip ice cream. you get gummy worms, you get chocolate dirt,
Okay.
and you get chocolate rock candies, and you just those are all the toppings. You put that thing on like I like cones. I like the way cones taste. You put all. Oh no. What I do is I get a waffle bowl and then I get a couple ice cream cones and I like crumble it on top of those. Dude, I clear those
Brother,
in like 15 seconds fast.
I am
don't even
I
take
am
time to
so
enjoy it.
hungry. I am so
I know,
hungry.
I'm
This
so-
is
I want to fucking die. I want to die right now. Oh no! Do you want to hear what my fat ass used to? So listen to me. I'm
Indicate the presence of toxins.
I'm in decent shape. I'm sitting at about 150. And but I never really took care of myself all that well. Like I used to wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I would go downstairs. Okay, first of all, Greeks don't know what s'mores is. This is why Americans are better by themselves.
Oh, I see.
Greeks have no idea what s'mores are. I used to wake up in the middle of the night. I used to get fucking Hershey's chocolate, and I used to get those the really good ones, the Jif marshmallows. I used to go the honey graham crackers. I would make myself like 4 or 5 s'mores a night as like a midnight snack in the microwave.
Okay, hell yeah.
I was unbelievable. I was like, what the hell? There was like something wrong with me. Oh, cool thing about animal gelatin. So marshmallows are necessarily kind of good for you. They're not bad for you. If you're high, to understand, I look at everything concerning diet from a thermodynamic perspective. I don't look at things and I'm like, well, this is good for you, this is bad for you. Aside from the preservative thing, make sure you're eating as organic as you can. It's
Yeah, of
impossible
course.
to do it all the way. Yeah, like I mean, if you're driving like if you're driving like 37 minutes or if you're driving over an hour and a half to get to an organic farmer's market just so you could LARP as the homestead while your poor wife is at home.
Sure.
I'm gonna call you fucking weird.
Right.
But you gotta remember, carbohydrates maintain muscle mass, and you want to make sure that your body is using glycogen or glycine as a energy source as opposed to like burning up your muscle for fuel.
Okay.
The thing a lot of people forget is that what do carbs metabolize into once they get into your system?
Oh, sugar, yeah.
It's just sugar. Yeah, it's just sugar. So if you're too much refined sugar, yeah, that's about like that can feed cancer if you overdo it or you're like genetically predisposed to some bad shit. But if you're watching your sugar intake and you're making sure that you're again in a deficit, you're eating as organically as you can. Yeah, I have no opposition to using marshmallows. And if you're a gummy bear kind of person, if you want protein to be as bioavailable as possible for your body to metabolize it into muscle mass for your body to use that during the muscle recovery cycle, you need to eat gelatin almost always with it to like double the process. It is like a supplemental steroid if you're using if you're eating gummy bears or any form of animal gelatin along with what's it called? Along with proteins, specifically animal proteins, like just meats.
Okay.
Animal gelatin will open up your bioefficiency from protein massively if you want to put some muscle mass on. So, yeah, there's good desserts and there's bad desserts. I love popcorn. I'm a popcorn addict. A lot of
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of popcorn.
Yeah.
Well, brother, you've driven me to dinner at this point. I think we did 3 hours. We did 3 hours, and now I think it's dinner time.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go eat something. I'm gonna go get like dude, my diet makes you want to kill. Dude, you know what I'm gonna go down and get? I'm gonna go put some honey in some low-fat goat milk, and I'm just gonna try to enjoy that as much as I can. That's like all I can have right now. Which is like,
Okay.
still it's good, but I'm like, damn it. Anyway.
Well, hell yes, sir. Tell the people where they're supposed to find you, of course.
Of course, everybody, go check out. All right, listen, check out the Ortho Chat, like theorthochat.org if you want to find out everything about us. But go check out the Ortho Chat YouTube channel and the Ortho Chat Twitter. We're super active on the YouTube channel. We haven't uploaded a podcast in a couple months, but we're gonna get back into it. I'm gonna do this big announcement video, hopefully sometime within this week.
Okay.
If I find the time. But check out global-orthodoxy.org for the streetwear stuff. You might find some stuff you like on there. We're gonna update that eventually throughout the summer. I didn't do the season collection that I necessarily planned for, but you know I do want to start making clothes again. I've been kind of feeling that within myself, and then obviously the most important thing that we're planning on doing and that we're working on, St. Theonostos Press. Check out stplaunch.org. You can find more information about that. We're going to be putting out announcements for what's going to be happening with the publishing company project. Through the Ortho Chat, and we're going to have some other creators kind of come in and talk about what we're doing, and it's going to be huge. It's God willing going to be huge, but more importantly than all those, support our dear friend, the Antagonist here, friend of the show, friend of the podcast, and God willingly, we'll be able to do this week if everything pans out the way we want it to. I had a fucking blast, man. It was a great time. We'll do this again hopefully next week.
Absolutely, and you'll find me here as always, sir.
As always. All right, God bless you, brother. I will tell.
God bless.
Chat. Also, one more thing. I promise you. Next time we do this, I'm gonna figure out a way to read the side chat. Because I'm actually wait before you go. Could we look through chat real quick to make sure nobody asks me something? Because I feel like they're asking us stuff, and I feel terrible.
So no, don't feel bad. I have a lovely little gallery of shit stirrers. Is mostly what it is. There was no, I don't think I saw any like particularly pointed question. I'd moved my chat around on my screen, like on my console. So but I don't think. Let's see here. There was a there was an awful lot of people being very sure that you are actually black after all. It seems.
I mean, I'm Greek. We're really not making much of a difference. Here's what I'm gonna say. If you, I've met some very eccentric people and some eccentric friends in my days on the internet, who have some very eccentric paleo-political beliefs.
Oh, paleo-political. All right.
Yeah, I listen. I ain't white, brother. According to them, I am not. So if that is not enough of an indication, listen. I could put on my clean shave. My hair is like down to the back of my shoulders right now, so I can put my Patrick Bateman shaved, whatever.
Hell yeah.
Customer service voice all day long. I'm never getting into any of those clubs, even if I wanted to be in them. So. You know.
Oh no. Olive oil African, they're saying. Oh my goodness. All right.
Indeed.
All right.
God bless white people. God bless black people. God already loves Greeks. You don't even gotta ask.
All right, of course. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, we'll see you next week, man.
Everybody.
All right, bye.
God bless you guys.
Fellas. All right. Oh. Yes, it was quite a bit of jibba jabba. It was Yap Maxed. Not the best salesman, is he? Nah, he rules. Oh, you think you should start your own religion, Haunt? With blackjack and hookers? Is that where we're going? I don't know. I gotta Oh, you know what I did wrong today? I did not have my brain juice at the beginning of the stream. That's I forgot to hit my brain juice, fellas. So I was yap lacking. I was yap lacking. Very unfortunate. Shouldn't do that. Here, let's yapless. Let's do this. Because, you know, the other thing is, of course, hang on a second, where's the coffee, some sort of energy drink? Man, yeah. It would be more like the Imperial cult than anything. Yeah, well, I'm thinking this will be the case, regardless. I think the people who wrote the Warhammer 40K lore are going to be very terrified to discover that, it's truer than they intended. That's what we're gonna see. Oh, let's take a look here. What on earth? What is there? My jibba jabba. Christianity these days is too weak for you. Sorry, Christians. Well, so Haunt, I think, if I had to guess, that is fueled. Well, Old Testament God had it right for the time, and then I understand the idea of Christ. And I think that it is a symptom of modernity that modern Christianity fails to be as metal as it should. You know? I think Christianity should be much more terrifying and awe-inspiring than people treat it, and I'm pretty sure that's going to vastly be due to corruption throughout the church. That's my guess. That's my bet, actually. People want excuses for why they can't save themselves. Yes, yeah, they do, and it should be a challenge to save yourself as opposed to an excuse not to. England is a good example of it. Yeah. The dole killed England. It's over. And it's because of that idea. You know? I don't, like I said earlier, whatever rises out of the ashes as the UK burns here presently, Nietzsche called it slave mortality, and they're not meeting the allegations. Yeah. Whatever rises from the ashes will not be the UK that we've known, right? But it is going to burn as it is now, and it will be ashes. And something will rise from it. Morality, not mortality. Yeah. Which Bible translation is the preferred recommendation? KJV is the predominant one, and that's nuts. Well, Red Sugar, I don't know, actually. So part of what I need for myself out of these collabs with OrthoChat is that whatever the traditional Christian gig was where I grew up was certainly insufficient. There's a plague of bad church. And do I like Spiders or Steely Dan? I don't think either particularly. Later translations soften things more. Early modern English is beautiful and poetic. Yeah, but also by the time that the King James Version came around, it was already bastardized to pieces. You know? This is the problem. For me, anyway, is that every step along the way, every step removed, is a step where things were softened, right? And oh, well, there's my red phone. One moment, fellas. One moment. And I'm back. Oh, my Codius. Okay, hang on. No. Hang on. I got it. I got you. Somewhere. Where the hell is it? Yeah, I bet I can just. Not like that. I can't. Hang on. Come on, baby, turn the lights on. Thank you, my love. I just don't know. Okay, that's right. That's what it's called. That's what it's called right here. Here we go. I'll throw you a bonus one. Bonus? Okay, so New Testament was written 40 years after Jesus died. Yeah, I know, but like the New Testament being written, I don't know. So, long story long, I gotta get. I'm hoping that exposure to the Orthodox guys helps me keep my head straight about decoding Christianity in a way that I can work with it, essentially. Because I definitely view the church as badly fallen, right? Very badly. But I have an inkling that I can't articulate that the story is right. And it's just been fucked with the most. You know? So it would be like ultimately important to unfuck the story. And I am egotistical enough to think that I could do that. You think the Ortho-bros are drinking from an empty well at this point. You need to go to the source. Well, isn't that the whole point with the Ortho-bros? Isn't it that, they've got their actual direct line of priests, you know? And going directly to the source, I mean, have I ever heard, Urban Sprawler, don't apologize for questions, please. By all means, go bananas. But have I ever heard of Book of the New Sun? The author, Gene Wolfe, is Catholic and invented Pringles. I have not heard of it until just now. Their source is mostly heresies. Well, yeah, probably. And of course they would say they aren't. But I don't know, man. It seemed like an area farthest removed without being entirely removed from my local understanding of Christianity, just the way that I grew up with it. You're like ultra fundamentalist to the point where you lost your faith. Yeah. And I think you and I had talked about that briefly last month sometime. But I think there's definitely ways for you to get it back. A new faith, a more thorough faith. And talking with people about it who are experts in their field does me good, just with how I can think about things without necessarily, like, as I'm talking to them, you know, for the most part, it is a matter of me going, oh, that's like this, you know. And then sometimes I have a really hard time, well, certainly expert compared to me, you know. And he's still a younger guy, especially as far as like priesthood is concerned. He's a very young guy. Yeah, of course it's dangerous, but like, well, no, honey, he's not a priest currently. He's pursuing priesthood. I don't know what you'd call it, but regardless, yeah, no, of course it's dangerous, but it's not like I can follow any earthly authority anyway. That's not something that's in me to do. So having the opinions of people, currently on a bumpy dialect of sugary pleasures and spirituality until the synthesis of enlightenment. I like it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't do the earthly authority thing anyway. I every time I touch base with myself for even a moment, I go straight to like, oh, well, you know, there's no one as good as me. Better to read the source material yourself and then ask questions from that. Yeah, except that the source material, I don't read Greek. And I also don't read Hebrew. And I also don't read fucking any of the, you know? I could get a study Bible, sure. And then I can have someone else's chopped up shitty interpretation. You know? This is the problem. Yeah, I have 4 study Bibles. I've read them cover to cover, the way you're not supposed to. And was entirely unmoved, you know. I only get the right feeling while I'm talking to people about these things. And it's good to have the book as a reference. But I know that the words on the page mean absolutely nothing to me. And it is not the vehicle by which I am supposed to receive it, apparently. If I read the Hebrew Bible, I'll explode like that woman in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. That's totally possible. Although I do, apparently, I've been told that I understand Talmudic reasoning very well. Which I'm not sure is a compliment, but it was certainly meant as a compliment. Well, boys, it's my dinner time. I'm going to have a very nice, I'm going to have a steak, and I think maybe some broccolis with some feta cheese. It's going to be delicious. I will probably be on Star Citizen later. Like, almost immediately. Here, where's it? We'll hit one of these too. Where is it? Here we go. Yes. We'll throw some. Yes, Star Citizen Goblin. Yeah. I'll be streaming again on Friday, of course, for more Star Citizen. And I'll be streaming again on Saturday. And maybe this time I'll be bit by enough of an interest to try and hit the rest of Subnautica 2 before it fades away completely, right? Let me see if there's anybody to raid. Monday night's a weird night. Let's see. Oh, you know what? J-Mez is on. And he just got on. Yeah, hell yeah. Here. And he's playing Subnautica. Fuck it. We're going to raid Mr. J-Mez. Mr. J-Mez is a good dude. He's a 3D printed gun VTuber. All right. Good dude. Solid dude. We'll raid him. J-Mez is a nice guy. Hell yeah. And spam the cubes when we get there. Spam the cubes. Yes. And I will see you Friday. But for today, stream is over.